What's going on, everybody? I hope y'all can hear, see, and we got some music going. Oh my God. Y'all, it's been a day. It's been a day. I apologize for the delay. This is the price you pay for having a regular job. And I've had, a cold I'm still kind of battling over, but what's going on, everybody? Good evening to all of you. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday, Friday Eve, however you want to put it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Uh, yeah, I had to push back the time a couple times. What's going on, Shay? That means I can be on time now. Oh man, I'm so late, you all. I am so late. I apologize to all of you for my tardiness in this. But I have a regular job during the day. It happens like that. I'm so sorry. But we are on and popping. So everybody say hello to everybody. How y'all doing? How's it going? Did y'all see my post? I want to do movie time in the members only. We're gonna get back to the Spanish classes too. We're not gonna forget about it. We'll probably do like the first 15, 20 minutes of just some Spanish speaking with our Duolingo. And then the remaining time, check out a movie. And so I put up two options. And I said Peacemaker or Superman. Because I actually enjoy comic-based adaptations of movies. Not just DC and Marvel. I actually like John Wick is my ASMR. Oh, John Wick. Who you gotta love John Wick, okay? He is not for play. I love you, John Wick. So John Wick, I've seen Sin City, both of them. I've seen all of the John Wick, except the latest one, which I need to take time to see. But I hadn't seen Superman yet, and finally saw the last episodes of Peacemaker, and I was like, oh, this is garbage. James Gunn is doing a great job. I just don't like that final episode. It was like 10 minutes of just an end credit with all the sappy, lovey, sappy stuff. And then you get Rick Flag Sr. come out and do something. It's like, wait a minute. What? Why you not? Now you want to sit here and throw this action in? Are you kidding? James Gunn. Man, I can pull up a Twitter X post going back, 2-3 years ago, where I told James Gunn I wanted to be in Superman. It's like he didn't even, Lady Luck Club, I don't even see you coming. I don't see you coming. He didn't pay me no mind. But I said then, I knew that Superman, the new DC movies that he produces are going to be awesome. He's going to create a whole, uh, universe is going to be canon. And I did watch Aquaman 1. What's this? 2, The Lost World or something. The Lost Wonder. I was like, ugh. Y'all was so annoying. So annoyed. So yeah, we talk about other things in the members only. On the main platform, you guys can see what's coming down the pipeline. But in the members only, we have fun. Okay. It's a time to kick back and relax, learn some Spanish, watch some films. So I figured, okay, if anything, I can take a hit without it, those videos being monetized, because more than likely they won't be anyway. And because the membership is not that large yet, but I anticipate the members only being pumped and hyped up, just like the main channel. Okay. Because we're almost at 30,000 supporters here in the LLC. And I want you all to continue to support and share the content and make that happen, because we're going to get it. We're going to get to 30,000 soon. Amen. Amen. So I expect the members channel to grow as well. And so right now it's like, 60 good people. Like, that's not enough to generate anything. So I can watch the movie with you all and not have to worry about it being monetized. That way we can all see and enjoy it. That's going to be so much fun. So we'll do that. I will do that once a week. Then we can have something to check out where we can really relax and kick back and have a good time and do movie night in our members only. And then, of course, any videos, things that I want to make available to the members on, like the exclusive court documents, the video regarding Barbara Shoemake, and just content like that. I am going to put back up into the members only, trying to give everybody opportunity to see it. So I'm gonna put it back in the members only soon, and that will be available to you all. But yeah, that's people have to join the membership to see a watch party of Superman or Dark Knight or the Avengers or something. I don't know, whatever. It's something cool and fun that everybody will want to see. Does that sound good? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're ready to get started. Y'all ready? We're gonna be checking out Umar's interview he did on 98.1. Well, he eating like a pig, y'all. He just eats so wild and free. So let's get some comments in right quick. What's going on, Tarifka? How you doing? Shay, what's going on? Everybody speak to everybody. Laura, how you doing, honey? Shout out to my mods. Saint, how you doing? Shout out to my mods. What's going on, Francisca? What's happening? Driving right now, but listening. Be safe and be careful. Hey, LLC chatting mods. What's going on? Get a clue. How you doing? Francisca said, Spanish class, please. Yes, we're gonna do it in the beginning, and then we're gonna do movie night. We're gonna have movie night, and we can check out those movies that because you get content creators put it on their main channel, but they cut so much of it out because they want it monetized. But see, in the members only, it's not that many people. It wouldn't even be monetized anyway, so we can watch more of the film. And I think that'd be pretty cool. Look, Saints are already giving us some suggestions. What about the movie Constantine? Have I seen? That's with Keanu. Ooh, I haven't seen that movie in years, and I think I've only seen like one. I think I've seen it like once. I haven't seen Superman, y'all. So I want to see Superman. Um, I'm sick of the Justice League. Just sucks. I just can't wait till they redo it. Constantine will be good. John Wick will be good. John Wick is my ASMR. You killed my dog. You killed my dog. Puts me right to sleep. Y'all, put a one in the chat if John Wick puts you to sleep. Y'all, you gotta love John Wick. He just doesn't mess around with it. If he's gonna kick your ass, he's just gonna kick your ass. We're here for it. We're here for it. I like those types of films, like The Boys. Oh, that's another good series. They're gonna come out with a new season. So, or did they come out? Because Gen V is still going. Yeah, when I tell you all, I am on it when it comes to those comic book adaptations of film and shows and stuff like that. If it's good, I'll watch it. Oh man, Gen V is good. Season 1 was fantastic. And season 2, it's like the college version of The Boys. And The Boys is based on the comics as well. They're like the rough and tough version of all the bad guys in Marvel and DC. And I mean badass, not bad like in the bad guy. Like badass. Where they don't hold any punches. They go straight forward. So yeah. You gotta love it. That's what people want. They just want you to be real and honest. Hey, RTs, hey, I literally just email you. Did you? I haven't checked my email yet. I'm so sorry. Y'all, I have just got through work and settling down. So a lot of emails I have not seen yet. We're trying to get an interview set up, you all, and you're gonna like this. Yes. We're trying to get an interview set up. So I'm going to confirm it. And then I'm going to put up the post for the interview on Sunday. And you guys are going to enjoy that interview. We'll be talking about Candace. Is she a headache? she needs to be discussed. What's going on? So let me see. My mod sent me an email. Yeah, I got to check this out. I want to share. Okay. I'm gonna check this out after we're done. I will, artists. Come on now. I will. Yeah, it's so exciting. So exciting. Shout out to artists. Artists is responsible for our art, y'all. You guys see the backdrop. You see the logo, the spyglass, the little thing here. Artiste Boutique is responsible for all of this. So let's give some heart emojis for artiste. You can drop your channel link, artiste, if you want your mod. So you can drop your channel links, whatever website links you have, you want to drop it in the chat so we can support you. But as you all can see, I trust artists with the fantastic art and the designs, the logos, all of that by artists, all the little members, only little pics and little emojis or whatever, artists. So shout out to artists for being one of the most badass artists on YouTube, and I sincerely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And she does a fantastic job catering to specific things that I like. She asked me, what are the colors? And I said, do whatever you want, get creative. And the colors are, some sort of royal blue, green, and white, something like that. And look what came out of it. It's a blessing. And she didn't charge me a dime. Thank you so much, artists. You're fantastic and awesome. And mama loves you. So, of course, we're going to support you. Drop all your links. Drop everything you want to drop. You want to share with us. Feel free to chat away and put it in the chat, and we will support it. And I'll do a post on it as well. If you want, I sure will. So we can get more exposure for you. So just drop the project. Supporting my channel would be super dope of you guys. Put the channel link in there, girl. Yeah. I better join then. Thank you, Shay. Francis, Stolen Pleasures. How you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Yes, artists, please drop your channel links, all your links. There you go. Y'all go support artists. Support my mod now. Mods are doing fantastic things over here. Support the mods. Support all of these fantastic content creators. The ones that have just a vast knowledge in art and creativity. I'm not that creative. I still have to draw lines before I color, so I don't color outside the lines. Like, I'm not that creative at all. All right. I'm very basic. So me trying to do something like this would have never happened. Y'all see my thumbnails. I was like, why don't you do some thumbnails that pop? I'm not that creative. What I do is realistic thumbnails. I do thumbnails like I may play around and with the gallery or something on my tablet and convert it into like a 3D art or something like that. But for the most part, I'm snipping what's in the video so you can get a preview of what's in the video. So I'm more realistic with my thumbnails. You're not going to see me here or this thumbnail or this thumbnail or this thumbnail or this thumbnail. All of that. You got to take all them photos. I'm not doing that. I don't, because when people watch my videos, I don't want the first thing you see is me in a thumbnail. Like, they'll be like, that's so weird. And then it's like repeating. To me, it's not original. You know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion on it. So you will not see thumbnails of me in here. I'm not striking a pose. I don't even like taking photos like that. You see me in a thumbnail. It's like I'm caught in that snippet that I've done. But my thumbnails are what you expect to see in the video, not me. Yeah, it's so I don't know. Not knocking those who do it. I'm not knocking those who do it. If that is how you want to take 80,000 photos and generate those thumbnails, where you're like, you throwing up the one, hit the one, like, hey, go for it. That's just not my style. As you all can see, not my style. So, but thank you so much, RTs. There you go. You guys make sure you check that out. And I'm going to tag it and show it again at the end. What's going on, Caramel Nidra? Did you check that? Good movie. Yes. All John Wick. I have access to the first 3 John Wicks. I got all of them. I told you John Wick is my ASMR, girl. Saints got all the first 3 John Wicks. I need to see the last one. So yeah, we're going to check them out then. That'll be in our lineup. I haven't watched films in years. Would love to see Superman. Yes, the new Superman that came out with James Gunn. I have that. Yeah. With no remorse or regret. Oh yeah. I love ass kicking movies. Me too. Yep. Even the movie Kick Ass. was decent. That was based on a comic. Kick Ass itself is like the guy that was in the that horrible movie he did. He was the Beast or something, Lion or something. Jonathan Taylor, what's his name? Jonathan something. Yeah, he was in Kick Ass. So it was a good movie. Both of those movies were good, but the first one was awesome. And I even like those movies. Just comic book based, good films with good storyline, and they don't hold back punches at all. And it's just a lot of fun to watch. So let's see. Everybody put some hearts in here. Very nice. All right, y'all ready to get started? What's going on, Sweet D? How you doing? Sweet DJ up in here. We got everybody up in here, y'all. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We're ready to get started. All right, y'all like, come on, Lady Luck. Let's go. Come on, let's go. We're about to do this. And then after this, I'm going to go over to the live about Candace, because I still want to check out the videos she has. What's going on with my thing? Hold on. Y'all saw the videos I posted up earlier, right? This girl is sitting here blaming Trump now. I'm not even like for or against him. I don't take political stances. So, but just now you go from blaming someone you supported, like she supported Trump, and now she's blaming him for a whole murder. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up at all. So, what I'm going to show first, two videos. Shout out to Black Anonymous that she sent me regarding Umar talking about, I guess, his aspect and idea of church. And so I'm going to drop the links for you all as well. If I can get the monster drop the link to her actual channel. This is the link to the videos. But if I can get a mod to drop the link to her channel, that would be fantastic. Shout out to Black Anonymous as well. Shout out to me. What's going on, Manny? How you doing? Another one of my mods. Rivka said, I saw all the John Wick movies. Oh, yes. That's so good. Good. Y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button as you come in. Hit the like button and drop a heart once you hit the like button. Let's get to it. What's going on, Manny? Hope you've had a good day, sir. Got some information Manny sent me as well that I'm going to share with you all towards the end. But in the meantime, we're about to check out these two videos. They're relatively short, but we'll just do it back to back about, Umar sitting here dogging out churches because, he's an idiot. All right. Put a one in the chat if you can see it here. Let's get to
chicken wings for that money, even though they was no good. But you do get something for your money. But what?
What's the name of his bank account?
They take and they street.
They thought this was deep. Okay, let's pause right there for a second. First of all, when has Umar Johnson, the great Oompa Loompa of Little Debbie's Snack Cakes, ever given back any money to anybody to keep them in a home, to keep them off the streets? I'm sorry. How is the money being spent that was supposed to be for a school for little black boys? Where are the receipts? Where's the general ledger for that? See, Umar, what you fail to realize is that anything you say, I can say it better and throw it back in your face. You writhing hypocrite. Where is any money that Umar has put out there that can be evidence is shown that has gone towards someone buying a home or paying their medical bills or paying for prescriptions or buying food and groceries or school supplies? Because last time I checked, Umar, courts had to order your ass to pay child support. You had to be ordered to do that for your own children. Who the hell you helping? How many pastors have actually been indicted for embezzlement and money laundering with churches? Did they not indict David E. Taylor about a month ago? As a matter of fact, I'm doing a whole video analysis on him. Got some court docs, got some recommendation for charges for him. I will be doing that. David E. Taylor is a whole self-proclaimed apostle, bishop, whatever he thought he was. He got indicted by the feds. Here's one thing you ought to remember, Umar. No one is above the rule of law, and no one is above reproach. No one is above being investigated by the FBI or the IRS. So all that smoke you want to have for these pastors out here, granted, many of them are crooked. But you're no better because you can't say what you're doing with money being raised for a specific school. You've been saying you're going to open for 11 years plus some. You won't even make sure that the contributions you have on your tax documents are actually consistent and accurate. You don't even report the same damn numbers. You literally take numbers 643 and then flip it around in 346. Or 634 436. That's how he reports his contributions. He's like, I'm gonna take the first three numbers and then I'm just gonna flip it and reverse it and flip it around again. And then -6. That's gonna be the next year's taxes. Like that's how he, in his mind, he doesn't add 2 + 2. He just lists numbers in some sort of order where it's easy to pick up if you understand finance. It's not even that difficult. Umar, you have raked the Black community over the coals for over 11 years. You don't want to take government money. You don't want to take grants. You don't want to take corporate sponsors and donors. You don't even want to take rich people dollars, and probably not even over a certain amount, because you know they're going to ask you for tax statements. They want to know where the general ledgers or the expense reports, how's this money being spent. We need to see a progress, a summary work progress report. We need to know exactly what's going on in each phase of this school being renovated and to completion to be open. We want to see all of that in writing and documentation. We want to see photos. We want tours. We want inspection reports. We want permits. We want vendor contracts. We want RFP. We want all of it. And the reason why he can't do it is because he's taking the money, he's pocketing it while he's sitting here talking about churches. Churches are sitting here taking their, putting their money in banks and white banks. Because I thought, it was Jewish banks, but, whatever. White banks now. It's white banks now. And they're throwing people out in gentrification and all these things. While he goes to Black communities and rake people over the coals in those Black communities where they're living check to check. You can't make this hypocrisy up. It's astounding to me. While he's sitting here scrubbing out dookie toilets. Nobody takes you seriously, Umar. Boy. You're being laughed at by the entire planet. Everything in heaven, on earth, and probably in hell is laughing at you, Umar. Not with you, at you. And you have the audacity to want to sit here and talk about a past. I don't care how old this video is. I'm just tell y'all that right now. I don't care how old the video is. It's the hypocrisy that he still pushes. Now, all of a sudden, I'm not giving out a date for the school to open because, people keep clowning me for it, and Lady Luck won't leave me alone. you got Lennon Honor keep coming for it again. Now Marianne and Lene Stacks and you know my daughter's revolting on like you got everybody coming for his neck. Yeah. Until you do right by the entire community. Either you need to be refunding people or stop asking for the money or open the damn school. Some people just want you to open the school. I personally don't see why when you're going to have to face legal hurdles. Because you cannot have that school tailored to just black boys only. You will not be able to do that in the United States of America when we have an entire U.S. Constitution and federal laws. Anti-discrimination laws at that. Laws that people back in the 60s, black people in the 50s and 60s had to march for so that we can stop being treated like less than. Yeah, those same laws. You're trying to sit here and weaponize to say you're only going to open a school for little black boys. But yet, you can't even put a financial plan together on how you're going to pay teachers and their staff and pay for insurance, pay for benefits. How you going? Where's the cafeteria food going to come from? A bus. You don't even have a website, Umar. So see why you can't step to me with your nonsense. You know your Umar Tardians, your little Goonie Goons, Goonie Goon characters out here walking around here doing all these cyber crimes. You can't step to people with facts and evidence because they're not smart enough to keep up. You don't even have a website. But yeah, he want to sit here and talk about a church that may have a website. All right, here's the second video, y'all. Shout out to Black Anonymous. Thank you all so much for tuning in. 32 people watching. You guys, make sure you hit that like button. Shout out to Jay the Informant. How you doing, man? What's going on? Black Anonymous up in here? How you doing? What's going on? Make sure you all, if I can get my mods to drop the YouTube channels for Black Anonymous and Jay the Informant, that would be fantastic. Nico, what's going on? The irony is he is doing the very same with the donations. Exactly. What's going on? Andre Eggs, he has his money in a white bank. Thank you. He won't even tell us what's the name of his bank account. They were really listening to this imposter. Exactly. You own no ghetto, Umar. You went to majority white colleges, Dumbo. Exactly. There you go. Umar, you went to PCOM. Is that a black school? Get out of here, bro. Davey Dave, how you doing? Let her cook. Let her cook. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all for tuning in. And we can get those YouTube links for Jay the Informant and Black Anonymous. I appreciate it, y'all. Let's get back to it. Jesus, come now. What's going on? Hello. Yeah, we waiting on.
Charge. I know you do. Because I know how the white man operates. Listen. You cannot oppress black people without black participation. Amen? You cannot control us unless you're using niggers to do it.
What church he in?
So the first family of the Cleveland bourgeoisie is the higher education Negroes. These are black folks, school principals.
Like him.
They're on the school board.
He's an
superintendent, deputy superintendent, mayor, secretary of education. College professors, they work at the community college, they work at Cleveland State. These are the educated neighbors. They got PhDs and JDs and PsyDs and MDs. Okay? And guess what their job is? To intellectualize your oppression.
You can't make this up.
These are the Negroes Don Lemon loves to interview on CNN. These are the Negroes Wolf Blitzer loves to interview. These are the Negroes
is he mad?
That they love to put on the town hall panels. These are Negroes Donald Trump will meet with because they know they're not going to say nothing relevant for you. So when somebody asks them, why are black boys not succeeding in Cleveland? They don't tell the truth. You know what they say? Their fathers are not home. Their pants are sagging. They're listening to too much.
Yeah, Umar, are you with your daughters in their homes? Are you with your children? Last time I checked, you're not. You're not with your children, Umar. So you're not in the home, and you're a father by DNA. You're listed as an executive director of a school on tax documents. You have an alleged doctorate degree, to which the dissertation was absolute garbage. It was monkey doo-doo. Total ape shit. all that stuff you pooped out in that toilet in that school and then scrubbed out with your bare hand. No, I'm sorry. He had a glove on. Your dissertation was all that stuff that you scrubbed out in those toilets. And you're sitting here dogging the very same people who are educated like you claim to be. I've got 6 degrees. Why are you dogging out educated people when you claim to have 6 degrees? And I already told you, Umar, for every degree you lie about having, I'm going to get the dissertation for it, you clown. So keep lying about this stuff, and I'm going to get them all. And I'm going to keep embarrassing you on it. Because those dissertations are not even worth the crap that you scrubbed out those toilets with those gloves on. That you then use to touch everything else. He's not that smart.
Little Wayne and Jeezy. They love basketball. The mothers are poor. They live in the projects. Poverty. That's not why black boys ain't learning. The reason black boys aren't learning because you got white, racist, nasty ass women who are responsible for teaching them. That's why they're not learning. And they got nothing to do with poverty, crack, sagging pants, or incarcerated fathers. But they can't say that.
Yeah, okay. So Umar has taught who and what now? Because if he really wanted a school, wouldn't he just start out small and have maybe like 4 classes? Maybe something fit for 100 students. I've seen small schools, small private schools that are accredited, that are licensed, that have a certificate of occupancy. They pass inspections, and they may have about 5 or 6 classes. But they still qualify as a school. Because if the idea is just to teach children, then that should be the idea. You shouldn't go for trying to get 2 buildings when you've already said you only wanted to open the smaller building to see how it goes. And then if everything went okay with that, then you would do the second building while you raise money for both buildings and give this false, misleading perception as if you're opening both schools at the same time when you know damn well you're not. You miscreant from hell. Let's listen to the ape oop oop all over the place again.
See, the job of the intellectual bourgeoisie is to parrot the narrative of white supremacy. Are y'all following me? You get paid to parrot the narrative. You never go off course. You must defend racism at all costs by blaming black folks. That's your higher ed Negro. And then you got your media Negro. These are blacks in Cleveland who got radio shows, magazines, newspapers, websites that get 1 million hits a day. And guess what? They spend very little time discussing the real issues that affect black Cleveland. They're not talking about environmental racism in Cleveland. They're not talking about the mass incarceration or police brutality in Cleveland. They're not talking about the dismally low rate of black teachers in Cleveland schools. They're not talking about how few black people get city contracts. They're not talking about how the labor unions keep black men systematically unemployed and disenfranchised. They're not talking about how the hospitals in the black community are disappearing. They're not talking about the stuff that matters. But you know what they will talk about?
You're not talking about how you spending the money you getting from these 2 schools when you only plan to open 1. You're not talking about those 2 accounts that you claim were frozen. You're not talking about why you sit here and keep filming college kids on campus and not focusing on the school. You're not talking about why you really don't want to get some help and some free vendors and contract services or get a permit on file. You're not talking about why the actual permits on file are all expired. You're not talking about why the hell are you lying saying some brand new SUV, a Mercedes-Benz at that, ran into a small gym at one of your school buildings, was set on fire with no police report or fire report. You're not talking about any police report to prove that there was any level of vandalism at all. You're not talking about why you don't have a school website, why your tax statements are a bunch of numbers thrown together. Are we to believe that the tax firm is a real firm? Seriously. I mean, how do we not know that's a Google number that goes to Umar Johnson? I don't have to trust him. And I put nothing past this clown. He doesn't talk about how he keeps dogging out Lene Stacks and any other woman that speaks out against him because he has no self-control. But yet, he calls women who educate other kids, women teachers, who are black women at that, because he hates black women, raggedy ass teachers, raggedy ass black women, while he dodges child support for reasons unknown. How many times have we seen him walk around with his pants sagging off his big ass? How many times? How many videos can we point out where Umar's walking around and he is showing himself sagging his pants? He couldn't even do a film without sagging his slacks. You can't make this stuff up. He not talking about that. Nope. What a clown and a hypocrite.
John robbed the 7-Eleven and took 2 hot dogs last night. They'll talk about LeBron James might be going to the Sixers. They'll talk about the summer jam with Jay-Z and Jeezy. Call in now, you get your tickets. Win a free ticket. They talk about who's going to be the special guest on Real Housewives. They have the whole media, but they do not discuss the issues that matter.
Oh my God.
Coons.
What?
Who you got next? Financial Negroes. These are black people in Cleveland who got a couple dollars. They got a couple $1 million. Some of them got old money. Some of them got new money. When Hillary Clinton.
He claimed that he had some fire damage done. Some fire damage that was done about 4 or 5 years ago, but never ever even expanded on the actual damage. Nor did you see a fire report, and the permit itself for the fire report wasn't even detailed. And then he can't get his story straight about whether it was 2 rooms versus 4 rooms. Now he's saying, oh, it needs floors. That's the same excuse he's been saying for what? 4 years? It needs floors. All we need to do is put down the floors and it'll be good, ladies, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, all we need to do is lay down the floors and we'll be good. Good. You can't make this up. He just lies to lie, just for the sake of lying. I'm just lying for the hell of it. Like, that's in his mind, that's all he's doing. And just hoping that someone out there is still dumb enough to believe it. That's it. That's all he's doing. Then he gets on that show with the Danza Project, and because they kissed his ass. And of course, the one with Daniel Sado, because he's supposed to be his biggest fan, I guess. And he just continued those same repetitious lies. That's because what else is he going to say? Because everything else he knows, we're going to fact check. Does he need floors? Probably. He won't do a full tour. We're going to take a look at some of the tours, though, that I did come across. And shout out to you all that have sent me videos, Black Anonymous, for the tours that the video you sent me. And to Manny. They sent me some videos of content of older tours that he's done on the inside, but he hasn't really done any since then. So other than him scrubbing the toilets, and he did not even do a full tour with that. He just went to the bathrooms, through the gym and stuff like that. He didn't even go through each classroom. He refuses to do that. Every time he walked through the hallways, he turned the camera around and just put it on himself because he doesn't want people to see the state that the actual school building is in. Let's not forget about the black mold growing on the outside of the building. Let's not forget about that. What's going on, Redemption? How you doing? THG, it would have to be re-inspected for safety. Exactly. So he's not doing anything that, it's not like 1 or 2 things here. He would not be able to pass, that whole building would not pass inspection. It just wouldn't. And then, of course, how you going to pay people? You get it open to the point where you can possibly see kids in it. You don't even have a website to enroll kids in the school. So, yeah, he has no intentions on opening that school up. He has no website. How the kids going to enroll in the school? Who's going to be keeping work of all the kids' information? What happens if the kids get sick? How do you maintain the kids that's got allergies, food allergies? They got bee sting allergies. They got allergies to the pollen and lint. How do you maintain care for all these kids? You ain't going to have no insurance. Something happened to the kids, then what? You don't even have your emergency, your wheelchair ramp that's clean, cleared, and accessible for the fire department or for paramedics to come up. Something happens to the kids at the school, it's like they're going to be stuck in there. And then you got the two-way mirrors that are windows where you can't see on the inside. So now you really just, it's like these kids will be in jail. I'm just putting it out there. That's how I would feel. Kids will feel trapped like they're in prison. Then he talking about cuddling by the fireside with these little boys with his dumb ass. Jabu.
Ran for president, they could come to Cleveland and get $1 million check for Hillary Clinton. But you out here struggling. Sister Francis trying to fix this museum, they got no money for her. But whenever white folks need that money, they got it. Somebody running for office, they got it. Help gentrify the ghetto, they got it. But when it comes to things that matter, they don't have it. Who the next group of Negroes? So you got higher ed Negroes, you got media Negroes, you got financial Negroes, entertainment Negroes. And the last group, and the most powerful and the most dangerous group, is the religious Negro. This is the black church. This is the black church.
Here we go about talking about black church.
Now let me say this. Everybody not guilty. Not all preachers are bad. I know some good ones. I know some good black preachers, but most of them are coons. Most of them became preachers because they didn't want to get a real job. Most of them came out of jail and had no workable skills, so they used them.
It's funny that you say that, Umar. What is your real job again? Where are your W-2s, Umar? How do you earn money? Because you don't even list a salary on the 990 tax forms for FDMG, where you're listed as director. So what job do you have, Umar Johnson, where you get a paycheck? Someone's paying you money in exchange for work. Where is it at? Because if you're working, we should be able to pull up something with the Department of Labor with one of your 1,000 names on it. You know, because he got 911 names. So any variation or combination of your name, we should be able to pull up with the Department of Labor, Department of Revenue. How much are you reporting in taxes paid? You're not even a functional, contributing member of society. You don't pay taxes. Like, this is why no one takes you seriously. You don't even contribute to our economy, Umar Johnson. You add nothing of value, especially financially, to our own economy in the United States of America. And if you hate our country so much, get out and go to the continent of Africa. Good luck to that. He's sitting here talking about someone not wanting a job when he doesn't work.
Bible. Can we just be honest for a change?
This is something else.
Because if you was that much in love with God, if you are that concerned about getting your people on God's side, why are you so comfortable having your people live in the devil's world? If you are a servant of the Lord, you should be fighting the devil. That means you should be fighting miseducation, mass incarceration, unemployment, disenfranchisement, police genocide. Have y'all noticed that the black church has been suspiciously absent from every major struggle black people have been involved in the 21st century? Have you noticed that? Where is the black pastor fighting for better schools? Where is the black pastor fighting for jobs for black?
Some churches have schools. Did y'all know that? Some churches do have schools connected to them, some sort of a daycare or an actual school component. Umar, we're still waiting on you to do something with what you call a school at the two properties you thought you bought in the city of Wilmington, because you didn't buy shit. I want to see a receipt of what you bought. Your name's not even on the deed. FDMG LLC is though, and K-12 management, not you. You weren't even special enough to land on the deed. And if I'm wrong, show me documentation to prove otherwise. I want to see documentation to debunk me. There are some churches that have schools that are functioning schools. My church has a school. It has a school, it has a daycare, and it also does summer camps. We still have Vacation Bible School. I don't know if y'all grew up with that, but I grew up with Vacation Bible School. It's like a week-long courses on the Bible. And then it will culminate with some large church picnic or function at a park. Go to the beach or something like that. We have Vacation Bible School. And then we have, some sort of like Six Flags trip somewhere. You're going somewhere at the end of the week. Just for all the hard work you put into that Vacation Bible School. We would have to have the classes, and then it would end in like a 1-hour service where the kids got to do everything. Kids got to do the choir, the singing, the prayer. Then they will pick someone to do like a 20-minute, I don't want to say sermon, but, to kind of give closing remarks. Kids regulated the church the whole week for Vacation Bible School. What is he talking about? Where did he grow up with? He did not see one church have at least a daycare. You mean to tell me no church in Cleveland has a school or daycare connected to it? None? Not a one? Not a damn one, Umar? I'm not saying that he's not wrong for the things that he is saying regarding some of these pastors out here. You got a lot of pastors out here. Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, Eddie Long, who passed away. David E. Taylor, who's been indicted. You got a lot of pastors that have been indicted, that have committed crimes. They have perpetuated cults. They have committed felonies, such as embezzlement, money laundering, failed to give an account for how they spent money because a church is also a non-profit organization, a 501c3, just like Umar School. But what makes Umar any different than the pastor is my point. He's right there with them. Those same corrupt pastors, Umar is right there with them. You went to, instead of you becoming a pastor of a church, you went and said, I'm going to have a 501c3 that's called a school. Then I'm going to buy 2 buildings with no documentation or proof of it all and say I'm going to open both when deep down, I'm really just trying to open one and see how that goes. The smaller one as well, because it would be less overhead. And then we'll see how that goes. And then we'll, get to the second one. God knows how long that might take. And you still have no job, Tommy. But yeah, he wants to talk about pastors and preachers. He wants to call them out when he has dirty hands. He's a hypocrite. I don't profess to be perfect, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about someone having a 501c3, and here I am doing the same exact stuff. And y'all see him like, Lady Luck Club, where you working? I have a job. I have a job. I thank God for the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get back on Twitter X with my account there. Get out information, things that people need to know. I challenge people to read and research. But I do have a regular 9 to 5. He can't even say he has that. You can't make this up. Hell, we have a $25 goal every live stream. Sometimes we meet it, sometimes we don't. He gets mad when you don't give him $20 instead of 10. Like, you can't, this is some craziness.
Where is the black pastor fighting for change in the prison system? Where is the black pastor fighting for economic opportunity? You know where to be found. Pastor is scared of white folks.
You can't make this up. They're scared of white. Oh, Lord.
Let me tell you what they did to black people. Dr. King was murdered 50 years ago last month. Dr. King was murdered 50 years ago last month, April the 4th, 1968, right? 50 years. What did they do after Dr. King that set black America in the quagmire we're in? Every 10 years, they gave us a weapon of mass destruction. In the 1970s, guess what they did? Right after they killed King, they came into Cleveland and they de-industrialized your city. They did the same thing in Philadelphia. They did the same thing in Atlanta. They did the same thing in New York. They did the same thing in Chicago. They did the same thing in Detroit. You know what they did? They came in and they started taking the factories out. And then they went into the high schools in Cleveland and they started taking the industrial building program, the shops.
What?
They took him out. Your grandfather did not need a college degree to take care of his family. He graduated from a high school in Cleveland, a licensed plumber out of high school, a licensed carpenter out of high school, a licensed welder out of high school, a stonemason out of high school, a baker, a barber right out of high school, a draftsman right out of high school. They took all that away in the 70s. In the 80s, the CIA dropped the crack cocaine off. So then they started mass.
Umar, what is your trade? What is your trade, Umar? Because last time I checked, you claiming to be a school psychologist is not necessarily a trade. You don't even practice in the field of psychology. You can't diagnose anybody's child. And you don't know how to keep a certification active on file. So whatever. What is your trade, Umar? This is the same person who can't tell you why he has not replaced ceiling tiles or how to get paint out of a toilet. That he had some black women paint in a bathroom. Not vendors or contractors, people who he should have paid that donation money for, because that's what it's for. But no. He let some grandmamas and aunties paint bathrooms and then tried to flip it around and say that the vendors and contractors left paint in the toilet. Sorry. Let me say it correctly, as he said it. Toilet. But yet, what is your skill or trade, Umar? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I can't change a tire, but I utilize my degrees. I actually work, thank God, in the field where I was educated. He can't tell you how to put up drywall or the first step to getting black mold treated on a school building because he's an idiot.
Incarcerating black men. And then to help feed the feminist movement, while they started locking black men up in the 1980s, the white man came into the black woman who was about to fight for her man.
You can't make this.
And the white man said, whoa, you don't need to fight for him. We got a housing for you. We got medical insurance for you. We got food stamps for you. We got aid to families with dependent children. So the white man stepped in with these.
It's okay, Black Anonymous. I'll be your ASMR for the evening. Don't worry. You can get you some good sleep. Just put me on low and get some good sleep.
Handouts. And that stopped the black man from going to war for her, the black woman from going to war with her man. And then the 1990s come. Bill Clinton steps to the scene with the Bill Clinton crime bill, the 1994 crime bill. 3 strikes and your ass is out. Mandatory minimum sentencing for nonviolent drug-related offenses. Do y'all realize Bill Clinton swelled the prisons more than any president in American history? But they wasn't.
If I fact check that, I better come up with statistics to prove that. And I mean it. I mean it. This was in 2018, y'all. By this point, we've had Obama and Trump in the White House in 2018. Y'all see this here? May 18, 2018. He's talking about Bill Clinton. So if I fact check that, it better be true. Seriously. Y'all fact check it for me and beat me to it. Drop it in the chat if he's right about that. That can be factually proven.
Done. Year 2000 came. George Bush came with 2 things. He came with the faith-based initiative, which said we can now give federal money to black churches. FBI, faith-based initiative. The preacher is the new snitch. So the government pays the churches to stay out of the struggle and snitch on everybody who's in the struggle. Oh, you don't believe me? I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. I'm gonna bust your bubble real quick. Monday morning, contact the Cleveland FBI office and ask for a list of the Citizens Council of the FBI and see how many of your preachers are on that damn list.
If Umar's on that list, boy, that's gonna crack earth wide open. Umar, if you end up on that list, because there's got to be a reason why the FBI taking their sweet time with your ass. The IRS should not have a problem one way or the other. They took down Al Capone. Let me make sure I go soft and real slow, because Black Anonymous is trying to get some sleep. So we want to give an ASMR session for Black Anonymous. All right. But if you pull a list like that and Umar Johnson's name's on that, I don't care if it's listed as Umar Johnson, Umar Abdullah Johnson, Umar Ifatunde Oguni Gunde, Dumbide Johnson, Jermaine Johnson, Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson makes shoes. I don't care how it's listed. Johnson makes shoes. I don't care. Pick a variety. And his name, some variation of it is on that list. The entire planet needs to go ham in on him for a whole week. And it needs to be relentless. Now I wanted to say that real low. Shout out to Black Anonymous for getting that good sleep. ASMR.
The preachers are snitching on the revolutionary groups today. It wasn't no 2008, they gave you Barack Obama. Now we want to psychologically handcuff black folks so we can take everything they fought for and give it to gays and Latinos. Every year they hit you. But guess
y'all, we got this next. Just tune in. Hold on. Let me go back. This is the 98.1 FM Urban Heat in Boston.
Practice, don't just interview.
And we're going to go through this, you all, because it's not that long. I'm going to speed it up a little bit.
Or black power.
Hold on. I'm going to speed it up some. But this is this 98.1 FM interview. We've gone through some of it. But shout out to the lounge. You guys, make sure you go check her out as well. And check on her, see how she's doing. She, had an accident a couple days back. So we, praying for her speedy recovery. But this is the full interview. My understanding is 48 minutes. So after this, I'm going to do the next live. I'm jumping to it because I'm already late for that. But I'm just behind on everything. But we're taking our time tonight because ASMR time. All right. So y'all put a one in the chat if you can see and hear. Let's get to the main event.
Politician or black church. If you're taking money from white folks, it comes with conditions. Every Negro in America knows every white dollar comes with conditions. So if I am serious about helping black people as a politician, a preacher, a community activist, I don't take money from white folks. Now, here's the bigger question. Black people in America are a $2 trillion economy. We're the richest group of Africans on the face of the earth. We're the 10th richest economic power in the world. Why do we care about taking money from white folks? How about we stop spending $2 billion on Air Jordans every year? How about we stop spending $4 billion on liquor and alcohol every year? How about we stop spending $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, financing our own cancer? Why don't we stop?
What? Hold on. Umar, why don't you stop eating Little Debbie snack cakes and drinking ginger ale Schweppes? Ginger ale. Schweppes. Why don't you stop drinking that? Drink some water. Get a haircut. Take a bath. Like, I don't mind if you buy some Dr. Squatch soap products from the Lady Luck Club. Products are tagged in the description of the video for those who would like to get some Dr. Squatch products. Soap, lotions, deodorants, toothpaste, toothbrush, all the things that Umar Johnson truly needs in his life. You guys can purchase it in the description of the video that will be tagged in the video itself. Dr. Squatch products. We have a partnership with them. Yes, I do receive a commission on it, and it goes towards the expenses of the channel. Thank you all so much for allowing me to be able to give that little sponsorship break. Umar, why are you eating Little Debbie snack cakes like there's no tomorrow? And why is this table shaking? Y'all see this?
Stop doing that. You see that? Yeah. Why we buy 3 times the amount
He's
of
holding
things
the
as white
phone.
folks, but yet we have less than 1/3 of the wealth of white people. You see that? Will Smith said something. Will Smith said this. Will Smith said, black people spend too much money they do not have, buying things they do not need to impress people they don't even like. Get your financial priorities in order. You will never have political power until you have economic organization. We need Black Wall Street Boston. That should be the whole conversation. Black Wall Street Boston. If you're a preacher, politician, community order, Black Wall Street Boston. That means a black hospital for Black Boston, a black independent school, not no charter. I said independent school for Black Boston, black supermarket, black bank. We need Black Wall Street Boston.
you've been organizing this school for many years.
Yes, sir.
He hates preachers, but he talks in cadences like a preacher. Y'all notice that? His speak and the rhetoric that he vomits out everywhere, and has this cadence like it's a preaching style. And it draws into people's emotions. It gets people hyped up and excited while he still says a bunch of nothing, a bunch of bullshit. Because he's a punk. But it's the cadence of it all. If we sit down and we talk about things, we don't sit here and fight each other in the back and stab each other in the back. You know, we can come together and make things get done. We can come together and open up schools and hospitals and help each other. You know, even when food runs low, we can have food banks to help each other out. You see that? I can easily do that too, Umar. Anything you can do, I can do better, you Oompa Loompa. Where's that getting me? Where's that getting any of us right now?
A lot of what you are doing, but it is a very difficult task.
Yes.
So even in that,
Dumb Oompa Loompa.
how do you know?
Can't make this stuff up.
Giving that hill that's aligning with that.
Yes, sir.
process.
Yes, sir.
Man, the way they're beating you up, I might not be.
You can't stand up for African people and not expect to get beat down by African people, because our conditioning from the plantation makes it so. Don't ever say I want to fight for my people if you're not ready to fight your people. You got to fight for your people. And
Okay, so y'all hear that? All black men everywhere. If you are a real man and you have been offended by anything Umar has said, especially about us black queens here, then he's ready to just, go out and fight you. Please, on behalf of the entire planet, whoop his ass.
you got to fight your people at the same time. But our struggles with the FDMG Academy, which are pretty much over at this point because renovations are just about done.
The sound is not my sound, y'all.
The acquisition
it's
of the
his
school,
phone.
the renovating of the school. We were
He's
taken
holding
advantage
this
of by
phone.
our own people, black contractors in the renovation process. That's what slowed us down. It wasn't the money from the people. It was nothing else but the black contractors. And of course, we got some issues with some of the blacks in the bureaucracy of the city where we're located, because there's always coonism going on, right? But outside of that, we good to go. It's going to be a struggle. What the fool? Nope. The problem with the 50 million
Y'all, the sound on this
in America
is so bad.
is we don't really want to be free. We don't want to be independent. We don't even want to be equal. We want to be comfortable under oppression. Black people are not struggling for freedom, justice, and equality. We just want white people to like us and treat us better. If white people like us and treat us better, we don't give a damn what they do to us, how bad they miseducate our kids, and how much of our tax money they steal. King Kong consciousness. Let's go.
See, y'all see how he keep looking in the camera every time he says something? First of all, I want you all to know the sound is not as sharp and bright because his fat finger is probably over the speaker button on his phone. 1, 2, Umar, it's called a phone stand, you Oompa Loompa. Get a phone stand. Get a phone stand. As a matter of fact, I need another one. The little sticky strips that go on the bottom came off. I need a second phone stand. But I mean, it's just simple. Get a phone stand. You can put your phone on it. All that money you raised up and you couldn't buy a phone stand? What are we doing? You have your fat finger covering up the speaker phone, you idiot. You can't make this up.
Hey, if you don't know, we're talking to Mr. Dr. Umar. He's in here giving us some light. If you don't know, you're going to learn. Yeah. We'll learn today.
Black Wall Street Boston.
Talk about
See, before you struggle with black folks, you got to take everybody who claim to be conscious and you got to divide them into 3 groups.
Yo.
Right? I'm talking about those who are in the know. So we do this. And
Oh,
you
this
think they
is
are long
it.
enough to get to where they want to go, and then they disappear on your ass. Be careful of the opportunities. They worse than the coon, because the coon you can see coming. You can see the coon coming. You can't see the hospital coming. Now I know what I'm talking about. See, Boston has a black bourgeoisie, right? Y'all might have the original black bourgeoisie. In fact, y'all black bourgeoisie might be worse than our Philadelphia black bourgeoisie. But check this out. You can't control black people without black people. See, the gatekeeping Negro elite of Boston is the reason y'all got such a big gentrification.
This is coming from the man that won't even let his other relatives see his own mother. That he's harboring in the house. This is coming from someone who gets mad when people question him about the donations for a school he's been raising money for over 11 years. This is coming from a man who thinks he's above the law and somehow does not have to follow a cease and desist order. This is coming from a man who lies about his bank accounts being frozen, but won't actually show proof that he's got bank accounts. Even now, this is a newer interview, y'all. This is not an old interview. He did this within a week. He is out here on podcasts, going on radio shows, doing interviews. Why do you all think he's doing it again? Because he did a video where he scrubbed out some toilets, okay, at both of the school buildings, I guess, maybe one. And he's trying to give this image. We're making progress with this school. The idea of me opening one school building, not both, is still there, y'all. I just want y'all to know the fire has not died just yet. Keep giving your money. He's throwing them red meat. And then when he does that, okay, let me go on all these shows and talk about why it's still not open. But then not actually say why it's not open. And then dog out all the struggle streamers and everything else while he still can't tell us what the hell his job is. What's his trading skill? He keeps talking about gentrification. Y'all, he talked about this in the 2 videos we just saw, one of which was dated back to 2018. We're in the year of our Lord 2025. 7 years he's sitting here hopping on gentrification while he's done nothing to help it. When the last time you bought a house, Umar? Or helped someone pay their mortgage or rent?
Problem. The gatekeeping elite of Negro Boston is the reason why Black Boston and White Boston have one of the largest Black-white inequality gaps in the entire country. You can't do that to Black people unless you use Black people. So we cannot be afraid to expose the coons.
You don't need
The
to show his
coon
bank
Illuminati.
account.
You must expose them. So
First of all, I don't think he had any bank accounts. No one's asking for his bank account number. But when it comes to the donations under this FDMG account, he doesn't have to show the number, but he could show the actual transactions or a summary of such. If it were a government sector and he was using tax dollars, he would have to do that. Government entities have to do that. That's public information. Let's start with the fact that he promised tax statements. Why isn't he sending out tax statements? You don't have to put bank account information on that, but why not send out a tax statement? Something to show how much this person has contributed and to show the expenses of how the money was spent. You don't have to show a bank account at all on that. Why won't he do that? That's a question I've already asked him. No one is asking for his bank account number, but I do want to know the school website. Where's that at? Where's the tax statements that he promised people? See, asking questions that are irrelevant to what's actually, the bottom line here is no one believes that he has bank accounts. I think you're missing the point. No one believes that he has bank accounts. That's the thing. He's saying he had 2 accounts that were frozen. We don't even believe he had an account that existed. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, the tax statements he's promised, he doesn't have to list anything about a bank account on that. Why won't he give that out? We're not tap dancing around the point. I don't do whataboutisms in the Lady Luck Club. The Lucksters know better. They know I'm going to read and research. So I don't make these points off the top of my head. It's based on research that I've done, based on documentation and evidence that I have. I'm the queen of this. But he won't even give out tax statements. That does not even require anything about a bank. Why would anyone allow themselves to be lied to like that on something so simple when it comes to an account being frozen, but he won't even say the name of the bank that he has these accounts with? My church will at least, and this is another nonprofit, will say the name of the bank where church contributions are going when they send us our tax statements. Because we get those at my church. You get nonprofits out here doing the right thing. You're talking about a bank account. Irrelevant. Moot point. I never even asked for a bank account number, but I do want to know what's the name of the bank if you're going to sit here and say something's been closed. Because otherwise, no one has any reason to believe anything he says. We don't owe him that. And that's something that him and the Umar Tardians still have not figured out. We don't owe you the benefit of the doubt. We owe you nothing, Umar. But if you're going to keep lying, we're going to keep fact checking you and debunking you on every turn. That, I can do this all day.
you got your opportunists, right? And then you got your ride and dies. They the real brothers and sisters. You understand me? They willing to go to jail for the struggle. They willing to die for the struggle. They willing to lose everything they got for the struggle. That's 1/3.
No, they're not.
And then your last third, they mean well. but they're not going to sacrifice anything for the people. You got to be careful with them, because if the pressure get put on them too hot, even though they think they for the people, they will fold like an old bag of potatoes. Know who you struggling with.
No, who you
That's right.
struggling
You're gonna
with?
keep on seeing more of them types until we start financing ourselves. I want, but you don't want to dig up the ground. You want water, but you don't want lightning. Frederick Douglass said a man will only get what he pays for.
Yeah, I told y'all he had his finger on the speaker. Why are you looking in the phone?
I'm not using speech.
Oh, and by the way, hold on. The ancestors.
Trying to read comments.
Hold on. Yesterday was October 16th. That was the anniversary of the October 16th, 1859 Harper's Ferry raid led by white man John Brown. Right? There were 5 black men who fought for John Brown, and we never talk about them 5 black men. Osborne Anderson, who was the only black survivor. Dangerfield Newby, the first to die for John Brown, was a black man. Lewis Sheridan Leary, Shields Green, and John Anthony Copeland. So I want to shout out those 5 black men who gave their life for us to be free. Also was the anniversary yesterday of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's 1995 Million Man March. I was there as the newly elected Black Student Union president of Millersville University of Pennsylvania. And also yesterday, October 16, 1968, was John Carlos and Tommy Smith at the Olympics.
Think about this. If he was at an event with Louis Farrakhan, wouldn't he have photos and the video from that? Unless Louis Farrakhan didn't even recognize his presence. Is there a photo or video from that event? Because he touting it like, you know, he did something great. Probably had to pay to go to that. I highly doubt Louis Farrakhan really wants to be associated with his dumbass. But is there a video or photo from that event, since he wants to sit here and brag about it?
Put up the Black Fist, Black Power, October 16, 1968. And I got to give a shout out to Black Boston. Today, October the 17th of 1787, Prince Hall, the father of the Black Masons. No, I am not a Mason, but the father of the Black Masons and one of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism. On this day in 1787, at the Boston legislature, Prince Hall introduced a resolution to provide black children in Boston with equal education, just like the white children in Boston. And he did it in 1787. Today, Black Power.
Now, I had one of my questions on here about the Million Man March.
Go ahead, throw it out there.
I was there.
You was there too?
Oh, man.
I was there. We got there 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun didn't even come up. We was there when it was less than 50
Dear
people.
Lord, you just running his mouth.
T-shirt, but
I might have bought one. You sold me that extra tight Million Man March tee. It was a white beat. That t-shirt was tightish.
Actually, I'm married to Farrakhan's people, so
okay.
I had access. It was really an amazing event. My
Beautiful,
position
beautiful. Go ahead.
Is I think that we need.
He probably didn't even see Umar there.
Do we need another
He
Million
didn't
Man
even
March?
see Umar there.
I'm not against it. But here's my constructive criticism.
Think about this. The radio host just said he's married to Louis Farrakhan's people. You just said that. Now, don't you think if he saw Umar at this event, because that's why I asked for a video or photo, that he would have said, hey, I know I saw you there. Don't you think he would have said that if he saw him there? Was Umar really at this event, or he just lying like hell? Because why would he not brag about it?
Honorable Minister, if we're going to do it again, this time it needs to have teeth and a serious follow-up. Because we did not get the Million More movement until 10 years, at least 10 years or more, after the Million Man March. We cannot bring that many black men together in the same place and not have a blueprint that we move out on immediately.
Thank you.
We poured millions of dollars into Washington, D.C.'s white restaurants, white hotels, white transportation companies. They got rich off of us. What did we get?
Any kind of leader.
It's not a criticism. It's a constructive criticism. If we're going to do it again, this time it needs to get. That's not a criticism. It's a constructive criticism.
It's not
if we're going to do it again, this time it needs to have teeth. We can't hype our people up and not give them something to live on afterwards.
I really did come home with a different mindset, though.
A lot of us did. A lot of us did.
But there was nothing for me to grab onto.
No infrastructure came out of it. You understand? That's not a criticism of the minister, because we were all there together. But if we're going to do it again, right? Hindsight is always 20/20 for all of us. If we look back, I look back on things I've done, I could have done better. You understand?
Sure.
We in this together. But if we're going to do it again, put some teeth on it.
Using your word, it has to have structure.
It got to have structure.
That's what, so it has to be structured from top to bottom.
Yes, indeed.
Well, when you spoke of organization.
Well, he won't let anybody give him any advice or suggestions on how to get other resources to help him open 1 or 2 school buildings. You know, because Jamar tried to give him free resources and people that he could connect with that would actually help with the contract services. And he turned that down. But he wants to give advice to the logistics of a Million Man March again. Are you kidding? You can't make this up.
That was amazing to get so many brothers in that space at that time in terms of organization. And I believe we did that based upon Farrakhan.
This idiot can't
There should
hold a
be
phone.
is there a voice that is as powerful, or is there someone who can bring us
Look at
together
his
like
little
that?
fat
You sound like that brother right now. I'm just saying.
When you're talking to the most requested black scholar on the planet Earth, you
No,
are
you're
talking to the
not.
number one Pan-Africanist on the planet Earth. You are talking to the number one black school psychologist on the planet Earth. You're probably talking to one of the most popular speakers for our
at his
youth
little fat
on the
fingers.
college campus in history. So if I'm not at the table, it ain't a real table. I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
That's
What he
you said.
eating?
This is Marcus Garvey talking to you today.
So why don't you King Kong it?
I'm going to
his
King
face.
Kong.
Why don't you just King Kong
I'm going to King Kong.
And be like, hey, here's what we doing. Meet me.
Man,
And I do want to say this: we have to evolve away from Eurocentric.
Umar, why are you smacking in the microphone? What the hell are you eating? It's like he's a little eating those little sausages. Cause y'all see him just sipping the hell out of whatever's in that cup. It's not a big cup, but good grief, it's gone. You drunk all the sippy juice. The juicy juice is gone, Umar. Get a refill. And then he's sitting here just stuffing his face. And I understand sometimes I have to eat. I ask you all, hey, is it okay if I eat, while we do this live? Yeah, go ahead, eat. But him eating, it's like listening to a pig slop on some cabbage.
A structure of leadership.
Okay.
Back to African Center. What I mean by that is, I don't want one man at the top, not even me. I might be the spokesperson, but the leadership is a team. It is a council. No more one man at the top because they can either be corrupted or killed. Malcolm, Martin, Mega. We don't need that no more. We need men, women, elders, and youth. You feel me? It's a team.
Yeah,
so if you go to jail, we still rocking and rolling.
Okay.
He go to jail, we still rocking and rolling. I get taken out, we still rocking and rolling. No more Messiah. We got to get out of the Messiah complex. One of the weaknesses of Black American political thought, we approach our political issues
Calls
through
himself
the lens
God.
of religion. In religion, you wait for God to send you a savior. God sent us Abraham, Moses, Jesus,
He
Muhammad,
thinks
right?
he's a God.
Black people are waiting for God to send them a savior. But Chinese are making their leaders. The white man is making their leaders. The Asians and Arabs are making their leaders. We're supposed to be making and training out. Stop waiting for your leader to fall out the sky. It ain't gonna happen. You got to groom them yourself.
Wall right here.
Absolutely, brother Wawa.
So, but if
He
man,
thinks
just,
he's
I mean, I was enlightened by
cool,
Farrakhan. He said,
So was I.
Let's go.
And we should have went, and we did.
But
I'm not saying it
Thank
shouldn't
you,
happen.
Sweet J. He called himself RB Jesus.
If that voice,
I loved it.
If that voice is you right now, because you are speaking that
I'm one of the
that
voices.
unadulterated,
Yes, we are. It's
organic black truth.
One of the
Tap
voices.
here.
One of the voices.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
I would nominate you for that. Right? If you said let's go, I would go.
Well, it's a
Well, if
black
it's the
street. How
microphone
you
and I'm not
doing?
on it,
Leadership
take
is
the
a
microphone
team.
away. But I'm one of them. Because again, I have to lead by
Shout out
example,
to you, Will,
which is
the
to
Black
say,
Street.
don't put me up there alone. Where the two sisters at? Where the two elders at? Where the two brothers at? Where the two youths at? It should be a force of leadership.
You brought an interesting point because they end up destroying our sons.
just
Exactly.
smacking.
That's why you don't put them out there alone.
Go
So
that way,
I
Ken.
wonder, because I think most people in the room could see you as that next person. Do you ever have fear for your life?
When I study Martin and Malcolm, one of the things you often hear from those who walked with them, most of whom
Why
are
are they
ancestors as well
feeding
now,
him?
they say they got to a point where they got so tired of being worried about when the bullet would come that some closest to them felt like they secretly prayed to go. In other words, they got so exhausted by the threat of death.
Right.
Just take me and end this. I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm exhausted by the threat. I get the threats. You understand? I get the
And yet we are exhausted of you issuing the threats, Umar. You Oompa Loompa. You sad excuse for human waste. You pathetic example of ape shit. We are sick of you issuing the threats. Do you understand? We're all sick of it. We're all sick of you and the Umartardians and your Oguni Goon squads running up on people, issuing death threats on people, putting out threats against people's lives, cyber stalking, cyber bullying, cyber harassing, doxing. We're all sick of that shit. When are you going to stop committing that illegal activity? Unbelievable. He feels like he's threatened, and yet he's the one issuing out threats. He has doxed people on videos and wanted people to go after people because he didn't like what they said. Because words couldn't prove it to be defamatory. He couldn't even sue Lynn and Honor properly. I went over the court documents, and I got all of it. I got the whole court docket. Went over all the court documents related to the lawsuit he filed against Lynn and Honor. And he couldn't even execute that properly. So if this man was being truly threatened, don't you think he would be going to the authorities? Don't you think he would be reporting it if it were legitimate? This is the same clown that doesn't want to be serviced with a document from the court to show up for a hearing. This is the same buffoon we're talking about here. talking about he's exhausted of threats. I don't ever want to get to that point where I'm so sick of being threatened. Who the hell is threatening your fat ass? But you can sit here and degrade women like they're objects, like someone owes you something. Y'all, look at this chair. I just want to point out this chair. Y'all, can we give a shout out to the chair that's having to hold all this weight? Can we just show some love for the chair handle here that's got his butt and waist stuffed in between it? Y'all, this is not a big chair at all. Because if it had room, he wouldn't be stuffed up in it like this. Look at, there's no space between his body and that chair handle. None. You should see clear space in between. Y'all see, I got space in between the arms of my chair and my body. He has none. He has none. And he has the audacity to eat on Sasha's fingers or whatever the hell he's doing.
But I try to. In honor of Malcolm and Martin, and Medgar, and Fred Hampton, and George Jackson, I try, and Patrice Lumumba, and Amilcar Cabral, and Didi Kamati, I try to discipline myself away from the fear. Because the minute you get consumed with the fear, you're no longer useful to the movement.
You're no longer focused.
You're no longer focused.
So my question to you, I'm sorry, Dan. Since we were talking about putting a panel together.
Yes, sir.
How's your relationship with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan?
We've never met in person, but I have tremendous respect for him.
Okay, but would you reach out and say, hey, let's have a conversation? If he reached out and say, hey, I heard you want to do something, would you go sit with him?
I think we can have that conversation. Yes.
Yeah, I think you two should meet, and you can tell them the structure
girls
should happen,
girls
and how the panel should be. Besides all these bougie politicians with their slick hair and not there for the people.
Ultra perm, Jerry curl, S curl.
Right, they're there for the clicks and not for the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think that should happen.
Yes, sir.
Because I think we need that.
Well, see how he just eating.
Each city should have a 1,000-man march, as you say, to come together, so the youth can see, stop killing each other, and understand you're killing yourself.
And Jonathan's that voice here. He has a very
Oh. I want y'all to see what this looks like to me. I just want y'all to take a look at that. Man, you can't make this up. I just want y'all to see what this look like. Oh God, because it's so gross. Hold on. Y'all, that's what this looks like. What Umar's doing? It's like a damn cow chewing grass. Y'all hear the smacks? All we waiting on Umar to do is go move. Cow goes move, Umar. Cow goes move. I just want y'all to see. This is what I'm seeing and hearing in my mind. As we listen to Umar do nonsense.
strong voice here.
Not nobody likes me.
But you do. People respect your energy, though.
And what's the key? The key is to keep the voice that you choose financially independent.
Yeah, send me a check.
A big reason why we struggle is the voices we choose don't stay financially independent.
Right.
If you're working for white people, you can't lead black people. They got to be financially
So
independent.
there are a lot of times, like when you talk about the NAACP, and I hate to use that.
Founded by white people. Controlled by white people.
We know, we understand the money that be behind the organization. And we always thought it was cool. Like, oh man, these wonderful people. That was so damn nice to give us and donate money. And they always put it in their history books. That's why we know it.
When I talk about the NAACP and the Urban League, I'm talking about the organization and the structure and the history. There's good people in them. I know good people in the NAACP. I know good people in the Urban League. The problem is those organizations were not founded to liberate blacks. Here's the question I would have for the CEO of the NAACP and the Urban League, especially the NAACP. Y'all spend about $10 to $20 million every presidential election cycle getting black people to vote for white people, right? $10 to $20 million every 4 years. You ain't built the school. You ain't built the hospital. You ain't built the bank. You ain't built the school. How can you spend that kind of money on trying to get black people to vote for white people and you've built no infrastructure in our community? You are a complete waste of time and energy until you start tackling the issues that matter to black people. But they can't because they're paid by.
Yeah, Umar, because you can't, because you spent the money. You cow eating turd. just literally sat here and said the perfect example that he is the biggest walking hypocrisy tool. The idea of someone opening a school. Umar, you are such a hypocrite. You haven't opened a school. He keep looking at the phone.
The best
He's putting on
thing,
the
one of
show.
the best decisions I made in my life is I never, ever got caught up with the white man's money. Never. And that's why my tongue is still free. I say what I
Yeah, but that black money is about to get you effed up as well because IRS.
want. I go where I want. I do what I want. Black power.
Yeah, he's not spending it on the
That's
school.
why he got us as the security team that we
Greedy
move all
ass.
this away.
Yes.
So when he comes to town,
Yes.
he's calling Brother Chris when everybody want to be my best friend when he comes, because Brother Chris gonna make sure you safe because I'm
Yes.
good with people.
Yes.
He also already knows.
He's
I can grab the
still eating.
microphone and
Yes.
he did it.
Yes.
He practiced. Don't just interview Umar. Interview Wawa, your city councilor, interview Brother Chris,
That's right.
who already keep introducing me
That's
to
right.
the whole hood. I already practiced it and said, I'm coming up there to get back on the radio because I'm coming to see
What
Uncle
are you,
JT.
chicken wing?
That's why I'm coming up there, and I already know everybody in there. So we practice what we hearing him preach, and we just a local representation and an extension of what he's doing, including he always trying to recruit us to come down to Delaware, be in security after school, get back
Hold
on the
on,
radio,
look at
and come to
this.
see Uncle JT. That's why I'm
Y'all
coming
look
up there,
this.
and I already know everybody in there. So we practice what we hearing him preach, and we just a local representation and an extension of what he's doing, including he always trying to recruit us to come down to Delaware, be in security after school, teach
That's
after
right.
school, and everything else, because you understand the concept.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Of team, but the piece he said to JG has to be echoed in this here setting, which is financially, physically, and politically, the leaders we pick, you have to get behind them. Politically, if I tell you the person to go for Wawa with your goofy self, vote for Wawa. Stop going for them people that ain't in our interest. Financially, they're going to financially castrate us. So therefore, you need to put your dollars behind your leaders. Then the last part is physically. If you go to put your hands on our brother, our elected official, we're going to do something to you.
That's right.
We're all the way for that.
Ski mask club.
Look, and it
You better stand it.
act like Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. When that little North Korean took the cap off that nuclear bomb, Donald
why
Trump
is
can
he
turn that
like
airplane
that
back
so
around.
possible?
With a
Exactly.
bully, you got to let it.
Eating grapes.
No, I got the same fire over here as you. The reason why, back to the finances, when you don't have the financial dollars, you can't stand up against a well-oiled machine. You just can't financially do it. Y'all see that with court cases. They give you a new court date because they know you can't even afford to take off.
Right.
So you can really catch your case because you can't even afford to miss work. But I didn't want you to pass
You
that up.
trying to
I
run
wanted that to
my
be back in
show
the
No, that
over
needs to be
here?
said.
Is
It's
that what
already
we doing?
extended. It's already extended.
Appreciate that.
Is that what you doing? You trying to run my show? You understand? You can watch this video on your own, right? Yeah, Jesus loves the trolls as well. All right. This video is already on 1.4 speed, and any faster, you won't be able to hear half of what they're saying. Now, you can always, as always, and I encourage anyone, especially if you hate reacting style videos where you have to pause and give commentary, because otherwise you're just straight out copying. If you don't like the pause, the breaks, the commentary, and all of that, which is what I'm offering in this video, because you can always watch the original, then you can go watch the original and then come back for the banter and the laughter of it all. That's how we do here. You understand? This is this is as fast as getting. He's the one that's sitting here eating like a pig. You're not gonna say anything about him eating like a pig. Cow goes moo.
Because you got to realize, we have 5 major problems in Black America. I don't care if you're in Boston. I don't care if you're in Atlanta, where I'm going to be next week. I don't care if you're in Alabama, Tennessee, Oakland, Phoenix, Detroit, Chicago. 5
just waiting
problems.
on
Mass
Umar to go
incarceration, miseducation, gentrification and homelessness, police genocide and brutality, and economic apartheid. Any black person running for office, any politician with a mega church who is not tackling one of those problems in a major way is a complete coon.
Well, you just say those problems again because I think every community has.
Oh, well, there it is. Umar Johnson is a coon. A complete coon. Hashtag coon in the chat. Hashtag coon in the chat. Umar Johnson is a coon. Hashtag coon in the chat. Y'all make it quick. Umar Johnson is a complete coon. I am so glad you said that, Umar. Now, that came from you, Umar. You said it. I'm just repeating it. We're just watching a video here.
Those issues.
And they rarely get tackled. Miseducation. You know why miseducation don't get tackled? Because the school district pays off the community activists that never hold it accountable. Let me say it again.
on, Doc.
Let me say it again.
Oh,
There's
God.
black people in Boston being paid off by Boston public schools to
thought
not
he
hold
hate
them
preachers.
accountable for the suspensions, the special education, the low test score, the dropout rates, the lack of resources. They pay you off to stay out. That's why we never fix the schools. Gentrification, right? That's the banks. Why aren't our black elected officials writing law to demand that the banks in Boston that holds the people's tax dollars, if you're not doing a certain amount of business, if you ain't giving a certain amount of loans to black Boston, you can't hold the city's money no more. We are literally being railroaded by the very banks that hold our personal money and our city money. Shouldn't be going down.
You can't make
Police.
this up.
Why do we have more black police in Boston? And why do they get so many police from outside of the city of Boston? You know why? Because if
Let's
there's ever
finish
a
the
revolt,
great-
they want to make sure the police can't side with the people. That's why they bring white people into the black community instead of black folks. Okay? Exactly. Then you got your mass incarceration. When is the last time there was an overhaul of the state of Massachusetts criminal code? And why aren't the black elected officials demanding a complete review and
Cakes and pies.
overhaul
Cakes and
of the state of Massachusetts criminal code? See that? Because they get paid not to get involved. That's why you don't take white people's
Why? I know, right?
money. Because when you take white people's money to run for office, they give you a list of things that you better never talk about. They own you.
Y'all sure don't protect me.
This is why we have black radio.
You gotta have black radio.
Let me explain something to you. I mean, is it Tanisha? Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Y'all, shouldn't that be Yahshua? With Yeshua? Yeshua doesn't partake in foolishness. Oh, well then Umar should not come out the house. Because all he's doing is lying and keeping up buffoonery. Peace out. Y'all too old for idiocracy. I'm sorry. Is that a term you can actually define? Somehow we're keeping up idiocracy, but the lying and the buffoonery that Umar does, yeah, no, that's fine. That's all covered under God. Somehow God is pleased with Umar's buffoonery and foolishness and adulterous and salacious lying, thieving, conniving, manipulating ass. God is okay with that. But yet, you and I do not serve the same God, Tanisha. We don't. I don't know what God you serve. But as for me and my house, we serve the name of Jesus. And even when people ask Jesus foolish questions, he met it with a response. Sometimes it was even funny. But what he did not do is allow someone to lie to his face without it being checked. Because the God I serve don't have time for some lying ass nonsense like this. See, there's a commandments in the Bible. It's 10 of them. Tanisha, I encourage you to read all 10. One of the commandments in the Bible is thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not steal is another. Me sitting here calling Umar out on his nonsense and his smacking and grape eating nonsense. It's fun for me. But does it violate the word of God when he's lying and stealing? What commandment am I breaking? I want one named and not one where you're trying to form and manipulate a scripture to fit it. I just said flat out, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not lie. He's doing one good commandment every time he breathes and opens his mouth. One good commandment is always being broken. Lying like hell is okay. Let me tell you something. I don't do hypocrisy. Don't sit here and weaponize God in my face and think that's going to go unnoticed. You and the devil and Umar are a liar. If you think you're going to sit here and think I'm not supposed to call out his lying while you call this idiocracy and foolishness, but you can't tell me the school website. He won't give you all a date on when one of the school buildings will open. I'm still waiting on someone to debunk me about the school bus. Y'all remember that school bus? I'm still waiting on that. Yeah, now see, this is why I'm the queen of this. I don't profess to be perfect, but I'm not sitting here lying, raising money, trying to mislead thousands of people to believe that I'm going to open a school. It's called a job, Umar. Get a job. Why not call that out? I'm just saying, call out the fact that he's unemployed and he chooses to be. Child, please.
Black red, someone else. You and
Enjoy the show, Tanisha, because I know you're still watching.
I couldn't be here today.
That's right.
Your point is well made. That's why I love being part of this black music thing.
He loves the trolls as well.
Dr. Benjamin. You want to give me a
Benjamin?
full? No. Give me a full.
Benjamin O. Davis?
No.
Benjamin
Where's
Banner?
James Miller at?
This is Dr. Umar, Ifa Tunde, the Prince of
Tanisha Tunde. Come on now.
Pan-Africanism, King Kong Consciousness. And I'm live in Boston, Massachusetts.
Where is James Miller?
So let me ask you, because we're talking about the police. So Trump's got the National
I
Guard.
know you're still here, Tanisha.
I'm not even sure if they're still in D.C.
The ice raids.
Like
Bless your heart.
Memphis, you're talking Chicago and other places. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know there's two sides. You got folks saying, okay, well, crime is gone. And
Why is
then
he
there's
short of
the other
breath?
side where as if, they do get rid of the crime. There's this thing that the state or the city's going to lose funding. So that's
He didn't
We
hit
never
that.
get the funding any damn way. See, I don't get concerned about nothing. We don't see it anyway. Can we be real?
Okay, hold on. Didn't he sit here talking about how they did not want to give him a waiver? How because he's registered as a 501c3 and he thought he was entitled to a waiver. Didn't we have to sit here and listen to him cry and whine when he was interviewed by Father Baba Yaga, Father Moses, about how the city didn't want to fill out some paperwork for him to get a waiver? Where do you think that money was coming from, Umar? If the cost of the vacant property registration fees are being waived by a government agency or even an organization related to a government agency, where do you think the funds are ultimately coming from? Here's to you, Tanisha, because idiocracy and foolishness. Where do you think those dollars are coming from? Wouldn't that be coming from some level of government? Because the fees are being waived. That means they have to eat the cost. So how is it that he thinks he's not getting anything when he's demanding and expecting waivers for vacant property registration fees, which are fees you would have to pay to a local government entity? But if he gets the waiver, who do you think is eating the cost of that expense? For the Luxers and the Lady Luck Club, who is eating the cost of that expense? Wouldn't that be a government entity or municipality eating the cost? Whether they put the dollars in your hand or they're waiving the fees that you don't have to pay, the government still eats the cost, Umar. Even if it's an organization that's helping with that. Where do you think those dollars are coming from? From a grant from the government. So if you're not getting money directly, you're still benefiting from the government. Amen in the chat. Umar is too stupid to realize that he's still benefiting from some level of government by expecting a waiver for vacant property registration fees. See, when you don't understand finance, I expect you to say dumb things like somebody's talking about idiocracy and foolishness. But yet and still, this is why you call him out on his bullshit. Because he doesn't even understand the concept of whether I'm getting the money physically sent to me or I'm getting a waiver. The expense is being covered by some government entity. And the reason why he didn't even get the waiver is because he refuses to do the documentation, to do the paperwork. He would rather come up with a whole dumbass lie that can be debunked with emails from city government employees. City government employees are having to debunk his dumbass in emails. All because he didn't want to fill out some paperwork because he's lazy as hell. Isn't that one of the original sins of being sloth? Being lazy, gluttonous, greed. You want to talk about idiocracy and Yahshua? What about the 7 original sins here of greed, gluttony? Yeah, Nick, bring it to the front of the church, Tanisha. I told you. And all the other, Umar Tardians that sit around here like you making a point. You can't out debate me on your best day and my worst. It's 9:39 p.m. and I can do this all day. How is that not being foolish? To sit here and say you're not getting help from the government, but you're expecting the government to give you a waiver to not have to pay vacant property registration fees, which are city government fees, taxes. He doesn't want to pay taxes. He doesn't want to pay the water bill. So he thinks he's supposed to get free service from the government as well. So Umar Johnson is expecting a handout. Because if he doesn't want to pay the bills on these bandos that he chooses to still sit and let be bandos, why is he expecting a handout from any level government, whether it be federal, state, or local? Why is he expecting a handout with a waiver? Come to the front of the classroom, Tanisha. Foolishness. What's the school website? I told you all. On your best day and my worst, you can't do it.
Do we ever see the money? I don't care. Now, you got a lot of black people saying, we got to fight back against the ICE raid, because if they do it to the Latinos, they'll then do it to blacks. I say nonsense. They've been doing it to blacks. Second of all, you got to understand that our situation is peculiar to the white man. It's unique because we're the only non-white people in America who cannot be deported.
Make this up. Oh my God.
Everybody can be sent home. Asians can be sent to Asia. Chinese can be sent to China. Latinos can be sent back to South America. But slavery destroyed your spiritual and psychological connection to your...
Umar, no one's stopping you from going back to the continent of Africa. If you want to go back to Africa, go to Africa. Pick a country and go. No one will stop you. Take the Umar Tardians with you. That includes Tanisha and James Miller and all the rest of them that come up in here. Take them with you. See, I don't stop free speech. But please expect a response when you say something that is so foolish in and of itself. It boggles the mind. Go to Africa, Umar. Bye. We will make sure you're packed up. That whole gym is packed up. Roaches and crickets and all. All that trash in the back of the building and the black mold. You can take all that black mold and the vines growing up inside the wall of the building. You can take all that with you and go to Africa. Enjoy your flight. You cannot return. That's the only thing to the entire continent of Africa. We, the United States of America, do not negotiate. We do not negotiate when it comes to an Oompa Loompa trying to leave this country. He's all yours. Just do not send him back. And you got to take the Umar Tardians with him. That's it.
Ancestral homeland. So the only way you can get rid of black people is by a system of internal genocide. Now, as far as the ICE raids, I wish well for the Latino community. I don't like what's happening to them. I don't think mothers should be separated from children. I don't think fathers should be separated from their families. But I would say to them the same thing I say to the Palestinians who keep flooding my damn Instagram inbox, asking me why I'm not speaking more up for the Palestinians. I don't like what's being done to the Palestinians. It is wrong, and I want justice for them. But I do not have time to cry for brown people and yellow people because I'm not done crying and fighting for black people. So until my people got justice, later for your problems.
That's how I
What does that black mean?
I start to see.
How hypocritical and stupid is this? What? Okay, brown and yellow, wouldn't that still imply they have some level of melanin? I'm sorry, I thought being African was a state of mind, because Africa is a continent, not a country. I thought it was a state of mind. I thought Umar said that if someone identifies, even if they have some sort of mixed blood, right? They're part Italian and African American or black. But if they're identifying as black or African, let him tell it. I thought he would consider them black. How are we skipping around on this now? How much more hypocritical is this going to get? You can't make this up, man.
Our community, even the black community, when some of our brown brothers are getting snatched up.
And I'm concerned about that.
From black folks that they're just a shade away from it.
Well, let's remember, what was Abraham Lincoln doing during the Civil War while black people were dying? 210,000 black men, many of whom lost their lives, keeping America a single nation instead of two. I think Donald Trump needs to be reminded of that. But what was President Abraham Lincoln doing at the time of the Civil War? He was negotiating with Mexico. He was negotiating with other countries because Abraham Lincoln did not want black people to remain in this country after the Civil War. He was trying to ship us all out at once.
I I know, sweetie.
At the end of the Civil War. Nobody talks about that. Not even Barack Obama, who claims
Hit the like
Abraham Lincoln
button.
was his hero.
Now hit
And
the
Barack
like
Obama
button.
got sworn into office on the Abraham Lincoln Bible. And here you are in love with the hero who was a white supremacist who was trying to get black people deported out of the very country that we helped to preserve.
You think he knew that because you just said
He should have knew that. He's a damn Harvard-trained lawyer. The Obama-Nati was a disgrace. The Obama-Nati was a disgrace. And shame on Al Sharpton for selling us Barack Obama for 8 years, and not once the man and that man do something for black people. Do you know Al Sharpton met with the president of the United States more than any black?
Does he not know that Abraham Lincoln refused to have slaves? Does he not know that? I don't understand. What type of upbringing does he believe Abraham Lincoln had here? Because historical facts would show Abraham Lincoln grew up basically having to take care of himself for many years and actually work. He would have been considered what's called a blue-collar worker. And then when he decided to run for an elected position, he also went to law school. Abraham Lincoln was by no means stupid. But you mean to tell me he hasn't read about the history of Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln was against slavery before he became the president. You're talking about, Umar. But this is the man that's sitting here raking black communities over the coals, collecting money from them, and then refuse to be accountable to the money he's collecting from his own black people. Boy, you can't make this up.
In history, Al Sharpton met with Barack Obama more than Dr. King met with Lyndon Baines Johnson. But the difference, Dr. King came back with 2 laws, and Al Sharpton came back with a perm.
Why is you yelling?
Well, he got something.
Black bourgeoisies, coon Illuminati, the Negro elite, the untalented 10th, the Democratic Party, plantation slaves.
Well, this is definitely a Funky Friday. I hope you are tuned
That's
in.
exactly
We
what
are
Umar
here with
is.
my brother, Dr. Umar
houseman.
Johnson. His name goes longer than that. I'm not going to play with
I was going to see if you was going to try to pronounce
I was after him. I let it go. I heard when he said how wrong I was.
Well, the introduction was a hell of an introduction.
Now, I'm about to legally change my name, though, to Ifatun, Dr. Umar Ifatun de Oguntade. That's my Yoruba name. And it was given to me spiritually through divination. My father's the one who named me Umar Rashad Ibn Abdullah Johnson, right? Shit's too long. My mother named me, I was born Jermaine Shoemake. That's what my mother named me. She named me after Jermaine Jackson because she was in love with Jermaine Jackson. My father couldn't stand Jermaine Jackson. So he gave me the Arab name. So now it's time for the African name.
Okay, what is it going to be?
Ifatunde.
Ifatunde.
Oguntade.
Oguntade.
Ifatunde means destiny has returned. Oguntade. Ogun is the spirit of iron in the Yoruba system. And Ogun is the defender of truth. Tade is the crown. Ogun.
Am I in? Because I'm saying the caption says European. Europe? What? Is he saying Europe? I mean, what the hell? What is he saying? Because I'm saying European. That's not Africa at all. What is he? Y'all tell me. What is he saying? Europe? Europa? Is it Europa? Europa? What is he? Help me out with this. I told you, I don't know. I'll look it up. I can't even decipher what he's saying. It's coming up European. Y'all see this?
Tunde means destiny has returned. Oguntade. Ogun is the spirit of iron in the Yoruba system. And Ogun is the defender of truth. Tade is the crown. Ogun wears the crown.
I got it. I'm just call you Dr. Johnson.
We're going to come back in just a few
Yes,
minutes
sir.
to my brother. Keep it locked right here. Don't you go nowhere.
All right. We'll be back, y'all.
That's it.
No, we got to talk about our break. Unless you gotta go. Let's rock.
15 minutes.
Let's rock.
Look at him stuffing his face. Just eating. How many yogurts are you gonna eat? Is he done?
Sister Angie Stone's death. Because we all bangers back in the day. When I heard about Brother D'Angelo's passing, the first thought that automatically popped into my head is whether or not his passing had anything at all to do with Sister Angie Stone's death.
It didn't. He died of pancreatic cancer. Can you not sit here and disturb this man in death at all? I highly doubt Umar called or contacted D'Angelo for any reason. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt he even contacted anyone when Angie Stone passed away. You have a child they both shared that is mourning the loss now of his father after having mourned the loss of his mother who passed away earlier this year. It has not even been, what, 6 months? Has it been at least 6 months since Angie Stone died? What, I mean, does he not care about the son? They have a son together. Umar, you oompa loompa. Why would you even say some nonsense like that? And then, it's disturbing to hear because it's like, listen, he's not here to defend himself. But if you don't even have any evidence on something like that, and you're talking about someone who's deceased, who knows what type of pain or condition he was in when he passed? Why are you turning that into a conspiracy? Until I see evidence to show otherwise, I don't have any reason to just doubt that he died from pancreatic cancer. Didn't he say he had cancer before he died? And if this man, listen, if D'Angelo wanted the cause of his death to be ruled pancreatic cancer and symptoms from that, who are we to sit here and really challenge that? Where is that going to get you? You still got to go through his son. What if his son hears this stupid shit and then he gets mad and now he feels like he's got to debunk this lie that Umar is telling with no evidence on the account of some man's death who's no longer here to defend himself? Why even mess with the idea of that? It's so disrespectful to the family, to his son that he has with Angie Stone. This boy has lost both his parents. And you sitting here talking about, how I'm wondering if it had anything to do with that. She died March 1st, 2025. He passed away going from March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's been 7.5 months. 7.5 months between Angie Stone dying and D'Angelo. 7.5 months. You cannot let his son be at peace for 7.5 months. You can't make this up. I thought, there was some belief that we should have respect for those in mourning. Not sit here and induce unnecessary stress on them by saying dumb things that, Umar knows nothing about. What the hell? It doesn't have to be conspiratorial.
Because we all know that she transitioned under some very, very mysterious circumstances. Being ran over by a rig on the highway, going the opposite direction after it crossed over the meridian. A white woman helped out the car, sat it down on the side of the highway. White woman goes back to her car, and the next minute, this big truck crosses the meridian, going the opposite direction, and runs Angie Stone over. I mean, how likely is that to happen? Right. And she's the only one who died in the whole entourage. And we know she was engaged in a fight for her masters, her publishing, and her unpaid royalties. Right. So was D'Angelo trying to pick up where Angie Stone left off and met his own demise? I don't want to speculate because I need more information, more evidence on the situation. But one thing I learned about black celebrity passings is you don't accept what the media tells you. I do not accept the media narrative on any passing. We know Michael Jackson was murdered because he didn't want to sell his stake in the Beatles catalog. We know Prince was murdered because he didn't want to give up his unpublished music. We know Tupac was murdered because he was politicizing the gangs. We know that Whitney Houston was murdered because she wanted her publishing and her masters back. We know that Jimi Hendrix was murdered because he was financing the Black Panther Party, or at least intending to do so. All of our musicians were executed by the white.
Who was charged in the alleged murder of Whitney Houston and Prince? Was anyone ever criminally charged for homicide, first degree, second degree, aggravated assault leading to the death of a person? Was anyone criminally charged in the death of Prince or Whitney Houston? Because he's named two people that he has zero proof to even substantiate what he's saying as a fact. We know. He's not saying it's my belief. He's saying we know that. Now, Michael Jackson, the doctor that, was with him before he passed, was investigated and I believe charged. But what about Whitney Houston and Prince? Who was criminally charged in those 2 deaths? Because I'm not saying anything. Why is he saying that? This is what I mean. You talk about idiocracy. Let me explain something to you. Sometimes I don't even have to give much of a response. The response I gave to Tanisha, bless your heart, I didn't even have to think hard about that. That was easy for me. But honestly, what more must I need to say when Umar is the epitome of idiocracy all on his own? He's the epitome of foolishness, of buffoonery. Not only has he called other black people in this radio station coons, which is a derogatory slur that was used against black people between going back to slavery, to segregation. He's sitting here calling other black people coons. And you want to talk about the buffoonery and foolishness and idiocracy? While he sits here and lie on the deaths of being of Whitney Houston and Prince being contributed to a murder with no evidence. You see, your best day and my worst.
Power structure of the music industry because they refused to play along. Sam Cooke was murdered because he did not want to go along with the major music label, the first black artist to own his own masters and recordings. So whenever our celebrities die, there's normally more to the story than bad health conditions.
The lady that
and the rumors already
Sam
floating around about
Cooke
D'Angelo.
did not get his royalties.
This rumor is his phone was swiped and something to do with the alarm.
If D'Angelo's phone was in fact swiped, if D'Angelo's phone was wiped clear, he was murdered. There's no need to wipe that man's phone clear unless you got to hide something.
There's no need for you to hide your mother in the house and keep her away from the rest of your relatives if you have nothing to fear. Unless you got something to hide. Umar, why don't you let your mother see her other children again? Her grandchildren? Your nephew went on Lennon Honor's show on his platform, practically pleading for you to stop restricting them from seeing their mother/grandmother. Because she has 7 children, not 1. Her own mother could not see her before she died. Now, I would like to imagine if this woman was able to see her mother, her daughter. If Barbara Shoemaker's mother was able to see her before she died, who knows? That could have prolonged her life. Maybe she died because she was in distress and distraught. And the stress of that was overwhelming. But what do you have to hide, Umar? When you have wellness checks being done on your mother and you're lying to the social services representative that came out, the social services worker, saying that your mother's not here. You know, she's not here right now. She's bedbound, wheelchair bound, right? Okay, where is she? Aren't you supposed to be with her? If she's out and about and you're her caretaker, aren't you supposed to be with her wherever she is? You see why she didn't have to keep asking questions, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that if someone is assigned to be a caretaker and you know your mother's conditions require 24/7 care, if she's not in that house, why aren't you with her? Wherever she is, you should be with her. You're the caretaker. You wanted to isolate her from the rest of her family and then lie to social services about her not being in the home while your dumbass is in the house sitting in some broke down raggedy ass chair. You should have been with her. That's the point, Umar, you idiot. That's the whole goal. Was to show he verified she needs 24/7 care, full-time caretaker. She's immobile. She's bedbound when she's at home. And yet, I come by here to see her, to do a check on her, and she's not at home, and you're not with her? See, that is what that video revealed. The fact that he had to lie about her not being there, and for what? You know, because you don't hide anything unless, you know, you've got something to hide. You don't keep your mother closed up in a house and not want anyone to lay eyes on her unless you got something to hide, Umar. You fucking clown. That is so evil of you. You're speaking on matters you have no understanding of. While you have the audacity to harbor your mother in a house where the police, having been called to that home 3 times in 4 weeks, and they still could not make contact with her because you would not allow that to happen. What do you have to hide, Umar, pertaining to your mother?
So why are you in the Boston area? People want to know.
I'm speaking at one of your local universities tonight. I don't want to give the name because the event is not open to the public. It's only open to the African students on that campus.
Man, be petty. Tell all the black people.
Yeah, because then they're going to start calling that college and they're going to show up anyway, and it's going to get crazy.
Okay, tell me.
Because I get a lot of love in Boston, but Pastor Christopher Womack over here, he got to find me a venue. I'm coming back. You know what I mean?
You can tell me. Nobody listen. Just tell me.
Nobody want me to come back.
I got to come back to Boston because I ain't been here in 2 years, so I'm overdue. We just got to find a spot.
I think I like that idea of the grassroots conference.
We need it.
And we can start each neighborhood with a grassroots.
We could do the first one in Boston. If y'all ready, we could do
the
first one in Boston, and I will facilitate it because I'm a neutral party coming from another city.
Okay, we got it.
You feel me?
Okay.
And we got to set the criteria of what it means to be independent. Boom. No white money, no white membership. Period.
Okay.
If it gets white money and white membership, you're not an independent grassroots organization. You got to define the terms.
So we have to structure it before we
Yes.
put it out.
Yes.
Everybody-
Have an application. They fill it out. Y'all check them out. Yeah, they meet the criteria. They can come to the meeting.
So all my white friends that want to give me money, there's no.
What?
They're not in this grassroots.
We ain't doing it. See? You ain't learning nothing today.
No, you're not listening.
Can't make this up.
Oh, that snow bunny to keep her quarters.
Hold on. You
We don't want no snow bunny cash.
Hold on. You can let me finish. All the white people that want to give me money to perform, I'm going to take it.
Oh, that's different. That's business for you.
Okay.
That ain't got nothing to do with
For all the ones for this grassroots, we want
He was in
to keep it
Suffolk.
separate because we want it to grow.
Yeah, we don't want no white money.
Yeah, we want it to
I'll
grow.
find
We want to be
it,
free.
I'm about to take this call, but
Because I know you
You
don't
can take a caller? Take a caller.
I got a question over here.
Okay,
I'm gonna call it in a second. But
Thank you,
someone
Manny.
already sent me a question.
Gotcha.
And the question was,
And white women, stop sending me nude pictures on Instagram, please. I don't date outside my race.
they gonna try and change you.
Why point that out? Who cares? Why point that out? That would have been something we would not have known. Why even point that out? Unless the photos are visible to the public on Instagram. If they're not, then why would you even say that? It's like he's dog whistling. Yeah, y'all stop sending me photos. Wink, wink. Keep sending them. Make sure y'all send the photo. Y'all don't send so many. What the hell? We all know he does not care about what skin color or race that a woman is, just to sit down and crush cookies and eat oatmeal cream pies and little Debbie's snack cakes. We all know he does not care about the race or the color of the skin. But why even go out your way to say that? Why? No one needs to know. Like that. That's something you could have kept to yourself, you moron.
Hold on, they said they wanted to know if you had a comment about
Man,
Stephen
take this up.
Smith.
Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett. Okay. My issue with Stephen A., and I like Stephen A. because he does stand up for the people sometimes, but I do not think it is wise or appropriate for black men to publicly castigate and criticize black women in front of white folks. He could have pulled it to the side, sent her a message. We have to uphold our queens by any means necessary. So that's the fault. I'm gonna tell you why I agree with what Stephen A. said. Too many black politicians are using Donald Trump as a scapegoat and an excuse to not serve the interests of the constituency. Don't use this as a distraction from the agenda, because guess what? Asians are still expecting the elected officials to carry out their needs. Jews, Chinese, East Indians, Latinos, they're still expecting our elected officials to attend to their needs. And black elected officials are of the mindset that black people shouldn't be asking anything of them at this time since they're spending it battling Donald Trump. That's nonsense. You got elected to provide for me. You understand? And most politics is local. So what is the mayor of Boston doing for black Boston? Don't talk to me about no Donald Trump. What are the council persons of Boston doing for black Boston? Don't talk to me about Donald Trump. What are the U.S. congresspersons of Massachusetts doing for black Massachusetts? Don't talk to me about no Donald Trump. Don't use Trump and his racism as an excuse to not serve black people. I did agree with that piece of what Stephen A. said. Now, on Jasmine Crockett's side, I appreciate the sister, and I love her courage, and I appreciate she has no problem not backing down to Donald Trump. So keep doing your thing, Sister Jasmine. But when your term runs out, Dr. Umar is going to respectfully ask of you, my beautiful Texas queen, what have you done for black people in Texas? Because if all you can show me is a bunch of interviews.
Yeah, what have you done, Umar, for black people anywhere on earth? Don't sit here and raise money for a school that you're failing to open, that you're failing to get resources, that you have no financial plan on how to pay the teachers and staff or get insurance or to pass an inspection or how to treat all that damn black mold or to get the buildings up to code. I'm sorry, where's all this energy at when it comes down to you paying the water bill and the sewage? Because on one hand, it's not a problem for us to pay it. We take care of it, blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, I shouldn't even be paying it because we don't even use water in the school. Then you're just confirming that no one's in the building. That the schools are not occupied. They're bandos. They're like trap houses. They're not being utilized in any capacity whatsoever. Why are you sitting here holding up space in the city of Wilmington when they could be using those properties for anything else and getting some level of revenue in taxes, where they can actually continue to generate revenue in that community? You're sitting here with two bandos there that are not even functioning, bringing down the property value of everything else around it. Everything else around those two bandos, the property value is being diminished. And you don't even want to pay vacant property registration fees. You don't even want to pay the water bill and the sewage bill, while you still can't say what job you have right now and how you're paying taxes and being a functioning member of our society, helping to stimulate our economy. You get the school open, then what? You expect parents to pay you $500 a month? That's daycare fees. Why? Why should they even pay that amount when you can't even show what you're doing with the dollars now before it opens? To which, may I add and remind you all, we reacted to a video of him being on Father Baba Yaga Moses' radio station, where he said he only intended on opening the smaller school and see how that goes, and then get to the bigger one. So he was never even going to open 2 schools. That came out of his mouth. You can check out my Umar Johnson playlist if you want to see that video.
And a bunch of back and forth with Donald Trump, that's not going to get my approval.
Unbelievable.
She can spend all the time she wants in the media. I have no problem for it. But you better have something to show for it when it's over. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm sure she's going to say this is a bigger fight right now with this.
You know why it's not the bigger fight? You know why it's not the bigger fight? Because they're not fighting.
Thank you, Tobias.
What exactly is the Democrats doing to stop Trump?
Nothing. Interviews. Exactly.
Did you see all the Democrats? Did y'all see all the Democrats, black and white, that sided with the Republicans to honor Charlie Kirk? Oh, look at that. Right. So how is Donald Trump a problem for the Democrats when y'all stood with him for Charlie Kirk? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe in celebrating the death of anyone. I didn't like it when black people celebrated Kirk's death. You don't do that because too many of ours have been politically assassinated, and we don't want people laughing at us. But
well, maybe that's the only reason why they stood with Trump. Is because they weren't trying to mock his death. You had people making videos mocking his death. So when the Democrats and Republicans come together on one united front about something, now you're sitting here saying they basically sellouts. But then if they don't agree and now you have a government shutdown, they need to be able to work across the aisle. You're just going to complain either way. So what difference does it make, Umar? He doesn't even give a damn. He keeps looking in the camera every time he makes a point with this preaching cadence or something like that, to which he despises himself. He hates churches and he hates these pastors and preachers that, as wrong as it is, they still sit here and get money and then live well. He's living like a bomb in his car, in hotels, and his mama, and probably the school gym. But yet it's still, can't name one thing he's done. It's nothing but jealousy, people. That's all it is. He would never do well in politics. He would never do well as a pastor or preacher. And the best he could do is to go on these tours, but only giving this false impression, which is, shout out to Manny, thank you for posting that information up, this false perception of this false light of saying, I'm cleaning toilets out. We're still working on the school. Y'all keep giving money. Let me go on all these tours and all these speaking engagements and all this stuff after hiding for 2 or 3 weeks? Because he thought he was going to steal the intellectual property from Marianne Lorian. While he wants to sit here and talk about the music industry allegedly murdering people for the same thing. But he's suing people for. He's about to slap suit. I would love to see a copy of that lawsuit, by the way. I actually have been looking for it. I don't even think it was filed with the court. I really don't. Why would you even try to threaten to sue someone with this slap suit for intellectual property and then turn around and talk about how all these artists who get because they were murdered, as he put it, as he said, because of their rights to their own music. So Marianne Lorient doesn't deserve the rights to her own film. No one asked you to intrude on that or interfere. Biggest walking hypocrisy on earth. And yet, Umar Tardians think that I should not be pointing this out, because if I do that, then it's idiocracy and foolishness. Because Yeshua.
I am not going to defend Charlie Kirk. He was a white supremacist and a racist who said some very disrespectful things about black people. But somehow do black Democrats and white Democrats go across the aisle over to the other side and stand in solidarity for Charlie Kirk. Look at Snow Bunny Van Jones. Snow Bunny Van Jones.
So they're not
sat up
giving
there
the
and tried to
impression that
sanitize
they're
Charlie
mocking
Kirk to the world on that interview. Talking about something, he was reaching out to me and he wanted a conversation. Negro, he wanted to bring you on the platform and embarrass you in the interest of white conservative politics. He wasn't. And Candace Owens said Charlie Kirk was a best friend. How in the hell can a black woman have a white supremacist as a best friend? But that's Snow Bunny Candace. Snow Bunny Van, Snow Bunny Candace, Snow Bunny Barkley. I'm tired of these Snow Bunny loving Negroes.
Well,
look at him putting on the show like he just did something good.
See, here's what you understand. When a black person marries a white person, they're doing it for 3 reasons. Number one, it boosts their self-esteem. Because if you don't hate yourself, you'll never seek a mate outside your race. Self-hate. And if you don't believe me, read Frantz Fanon. Black Skin, White Mask. Frantz Fanon was a bunny hopper. Great black revolutionary, but he was a bunny hopper. But he told the truth. Black people marry white people because you want to be white your damn self. Number two, a white spouse tells the white power structure that you are a safe, trustable Negro. It is your political path to opportunity in the white power structure. And number three, you don't want your children to look like you. Hi, Serena.
Wow.
Why not say hi, Candace Owens? Candace Owens married a British white man. Why not just say hi, Candace? Did he not know that? What difference does it make? He will take a white woman in a minute because don't no real black woman want his sloppy ass. And he hates black women, so he's definitely not going to go for a black woman that's just as much of a bomb as he is. You can't have two broke thunkheads together trying to make something happen here. While he sits here and calls other black people coons. But yet, you got a problem with black people marrying white people? While another whole fat grown black man call all these black people in this radio station a coon.
Okay, and
well,
Serena is not.
How the hell you going to give that body to a Caucasian? 5'5", thick in the
That's all
thighs
he
with all them
sees.
sit-up
A body.
And you're going to give that to a Caucasian?
That's all he sees is a body.
Listen, if you see the layout,
that's all he sees is a body.
But let me say this in defense of my sister Serena because I love her. And if I had to vote, Serena Williams would get my vote as the most powerful, impactful athlete of this century. More than LeBron James, more than Tiger. She dominated. She dominated tennis, right? But I don't know if y'all know this. Sister Serena and Venus, Snow Bunny Venus, and Snow Bunny Serena, they went through a lot of hell on them courts.
Yes, they did.
White people were calling them the N-word, monkeys, gorillas. I read some of the stuff they had to say about them, and they wouldn't even put them out. How does somebody talk to a player like that? And you don't even put them out the tennis match. So they went through a lot of psychological trauma that I think led to them bunny hopping. That does not excuse it. But from a psychological standpoint, I'm saying I understand, although I don't condone. I love you, Serena.
You don't understand.
Security over there gave me the.
He just keep looking in the phone like how am I doing? Am I doing good? You idiot. This is something else. Okay, so here's my question. Why didn't 98.1 FM kick Umar out the first time he said coon? Because what's the difference between the word coming from a black person versus a white person? It's still a slur. It doesn't change the definition or the concept of the term. But why didn't 98.1 kick him out? Why didn't the Danza Project kick him out of the podcast when he called black people coons? When he used the word coon? They should have already kicked him out. This would have been a short interview. I mean, if you want to sit here and go on, consistency and holding people accountable here, he should have already been kicked out of this radio station for saying coon.
The wrap-up sign.
The wrap-up
So I
sign.
want to give you a chance to.
This is crazy.
I think you came out with it first, right? But I want you to close it, man. Which is what
How do we
you want
close?
to leave Boston with?
The message I want to leave Black Boston with.
Can a person say something? Can y'all answer a call?
Go ahead. Can we do a call?
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Let's take a call.
Yeah, take a call. Take a call.
All right.
Shout to Umar Johnson.
Yes,
Let
sir.
me get him in here. Let me go.
You don't know how to do it?
You got him in queue?
Who's that?
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
No,
You okay?
take the phone up
You hear me?
Yes. Hold on.
and now pull up the phone on the board.
Put it all the way up. All the way up. Yeah.
There you go.
You in there?
No.
He's on there. Just turn him up a little bit.
There you go. Yeah.
I can hear you, King.
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself.
No. Hold on, brother.
James.
Whoa, who are
Stiller,
you,
you
brother? Who
blocked.
are you? You can be a plant. Who are you?
Is he black?
Tell us who you are first, my brother. Oh, there you
Okay, DJ Black.
go.
Talk to me, DJ Black. Peace, God.
You can't even hear. Sheriff said he definitely on nose candy. Black people want to be. Don't nobody want to be with Umar.
He right next to me.
I can't even hear.
Next to me.
Man, he has been.
Y'all might got to throw him on the mic for 30.
DJ Black, amazing brother here, good DJ, really. You can't, but we love that you came here.
I'm
This
telling
is
everybody.
Real Black Radio.
Yeah, okay. Now they just finna kiss his ass. So that's pretty much the whole video itself. Y'all, this is something else. The hypocrisy on this is staggering. And yet he gets mad when people point out his hypocrisy and his lies. Are you kidding? You can't make this up. But yet, never mind the fact. He has no job. There's no school. He keeps lying about floors. He said coon way too many times for my comfort. And he want to sit here and talk about Serena Williams. All he sees her as is a body. That's so degrading, it's not even funny. Umar couldn't pull in any woman at this point that's halfway decent. The only options he would have is a chicken head or a cult member. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't even care if his cult people want to be with him. Just leave everybody else out of it and release your mother. Release your mother. You want to sit here and think you tough and buff and all this other nonsense? Release your mother to your siblings. Let your family see her. Because we all know you got something to hide, Umar. He's such a clown. So I wanted to share this. This is the last thing I'm going to pull up because I want to get to. I got to get to the next live with Candace. And yes, I'm doing another live right after this. But this is an email I'm going to read to you all. Actually, I can try to show you all if I can do it. From from Brother Malik. I'm sorry. From Brother Malik. And let me see. I'm trying to print it so I don't have to. For some reason not coming up when I try to print it. I don't know why. That sucks. Yeah, don't give me the full email when I try to pull it up. And I don't want to show my screen because I don't want anybody to get any email addresses. But this is coming from Brother Malik. He said that this is a short list of health concerns we chatted about. You guys know Brother Malik was on the show last week talking about the first video that was released from the Danza Project. Brother Malik came on LLC the day after that video was released and talked about some of the issues with the building. So he's giving a short list of health concerns that we discussed on that show. Thank you for requesting my input under my 35 plus years in the building construction industry. Shout out to Brother Malik. So The focus on the health concerns to the public of the abandoned vacant buildings exterior, including all staircasing and ramps. The mold mildew are poisonous to the touch and smell even in the open air. These contaminants are the 1 and 2 causes for upper respiratory infections for children, but all humans, of course, in particular, followed by lead found in paints and water. There may also be a health issue with the water system. At FDMG, testing of the water is highly recommended, and they do have water testing kits. So, if anyone goes back to the school and you want to test the water, maybe there's some sort of water source between the fire hose connections or a pipe or something. You want to test the water, you can take a water testing kit with you and test the water. If there's some water somewhere inside the building, especially the water related to the mold, you can just scrape off a sample of it, wear some gloves, and take a testing kit if there's any water to see how much particles is in that water. Because, mind you, he's cleaning toilets for the school building. But it seemed like he was only cleaning the toilets for the actual school building where the gym was painted. Only one building has more renovations done to it than the other. And then tomorrow we'll see one of the last, tours he did about 4 years ago. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. But, of course, the water can be tested with water testing kits. Mold and mildew cannot be painted over. No matter how many coats of paint you use, they must be treated by a professional. Contracting does not go away, nor gets any better without required treatment. The longer the mildew sits within the exterior walls, the less likely it can be removed. I mean, what needs to happen is, since he only intended on opening one school, he just needs to give the other building up. And then we can see, okay, now what's your excuse? You only have one building to work on. What's the excuse? Give up the one that has not had as much renovations to it back to the city and let them use it to earn some money. Let it be useful to the city. Maybe they could turn that into a parking lot. There's a Boys and Girls Club right next door. You have the Boys and Girls Club right next to these two buildings where there's an overgrowth of black mold. And he doesn't even care. Think about that for a second. An entire YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, is right next to the school building that has black mold growing on the sides of the building to where it's so noticeable. It's in the stairway, it's in the ramps. I mean, it's tearing down the painting on the handrails. You got it around the boarded up doors and windows. So much mold growing right next to the Boys and Girls Club. So you got this increased risk of health concerns next to the Boys and Girls Club with other children. And do you all think he gives a damn? No, he don't care. He don't care at all. He don't give a damn about that. Because to him, it's all about keeping up this grip. The moment he allows someone to test the water or the paint or the mold, then he would have to give some sort of, response to it, because it will be, the documentation will be hard to ignore. So if anybody goes back there, please put on some gloves and a mask and test the water. A little water testing kit, like $10-12. Please test the water. Whatever water you can get out of the hose, the fire hose connection, whatever water source you can access, because Lord knows he's not going to open the building. But test that water. See what comes up. Because might as well. He's not going to do it. And then maybe those test results can be enough for the city to say, okay, this is enough. Either sell these buildings or we're taking it. And we're going to do a, what you call it? Oh, Lord. When the government has to acquire a building. it's a legal lawful method where they can take it, instead of you being able to sell it or auction it off. But you're leaving them no choice. If you've got some test results that render anything regarding a serious, you know, uh, health alert or some sort of serious health warning that comes with these buildings sitting here, they'll take them buildings back. They're like, you know what? You won't be able to pass inspection. And you keep holding on to these buildings. But yet you're not getting things done to at least make it less hazardous. Umar doesn't care. He just cares about the optics to continue the dumb grift. That's it. He just wants money. That's why he's throwing red meat at his coat base. Clean the toilets, y'all. That means we're making some progress. So keep giving money. I'm going to go on tours. I'm going to spread the word out there. He didn't even talk about the school in this entire interview. He talked about everything else except FDMG. He has not addressed the mold, none of that. How is it that you have people still thinking somehow that he's trying to open a school? He can't even talk 48 minutes of running his mouth, minus the 15-minute break. And he still failed to say anything about what he's doing to get that school open. Because he's not. Period. So let me finish this up. The entire exterior building should have down water spouts installed immediately, as they control and are responsible for all waters, rain, and melted snow staying away the sidings of the buildings, the roof, and the surrounding foundation and grounds. Sitting water is especially contaminated, causes algae buildup in the weeds and grass, and attracts bugs like water flies and mosquitoes. Failure to do so ASAP will only cause the water to make the mold. Mildew problems grow worse, as sitting water is the main contribution to making mold, mildew, and algae. These are my professional opinions as a certified union carpenter, framer, drywall hanger, sheetrock, and finisher, taper, and texture in all phases of interior exterior painting. I can only hope these very dangerous, serious health issues surrounding the entire exterior of the FDMG compound are addressed ASAP, as the contaminants are poisonous and open to the public, passerbys, with the likely possibilities of upper respiratory infections for years to come. Hope this valued information helps. It sure does. And what I'm going to do is print this out and make a post on it, because I mean, I'm literally trying to print it, and I don't want to show email addresses, but it's not giving me the full email, and I don't know why. So I'm going to print this out and make a post so you all can see. I'll leave his name on here, but I won't put, like his information. And he has a title, but I won't put any other information in the post itself. But I'm going to print this email, redact the information out, and post it up so you all can see how dangerous this is, coming from someone that is certified to give these assessments. And he's got credentials to share. If upon request, if anybody want to know, okay, let's see your certificates, he can post it up. I'll post it up. Many content creators will post it up. So this is stuff that, I'm not trying to convince Umartardians at this point, because they're just, leave them in La La Land where they belong. But I am going to help pass out the truth, for those who need to know. And be careful for those who do go to the school to visit, to do any filming or anything. Just be careful when you go. I suggest wearing a mask at this point. What parent in their right mind would send their child there? Are these lonely, bitter, dumb black women that sit here and think that he's somebody? Like he's some sort of formidable foe or something. He dogs and degrades women like it's nothing with his eyes closed. I mean, you guys check out the chat. Manny is posting up information. This is hopefully information to help you all, and spread the word. Spread the word. Make sure you're sharing the videos and the content. Hit the like button. Thank you all so much. I want to make sure Master Khalik sent the $1.99 super. Love the content and your voice. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super. That will go towards the $25 goal. Like I said, sometimes we hit it, sometimes we don't. But either way, I appreciate all of you for your help. And shout out to Wolves of Black Wall Street that stopped by earlier for the lighting and the green screen and the donation. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna give his real name, so that's Wolves of the Black Wall Street is the one who blessed this channel with the equipment and a donation. I appreciate it. It's a blessing. I really do. So you guys make sure you're hitting the like button. Look out for the post after I'm done with the stream and check the description for the Dr. Squatch products. That's all we have here for tonight. Tomorrow, I will be back. And I apologize for having to push back the live stream so many times. But, you know, you guys having a regular job, this is how it works for the Umar Tardians and Umar who don't understand any aspect of working. This is what it's like. And having real bills and a whole household and responsibilities. You got to keep a job. So you guys tune in for tomorrow where we're going to be checking out some video footages of the tours inside the building because Umar is a self-snitcher and he can't help putting his foot in his mouth. So on the bright side, he never intended to open the school. Exactly. But I mean, the thing with the black mold is you got mold spores. So that's airborne. That's why it's like, you know, going inside those buildings, it wouldn't help anybody. It just wouldn't. And just the caution to those who do go to the building, wear a mask, wear some gloves so that you're not breathing that stuff in. Because it's getting to a point after 4 or 5 years of that mold and stuff growing, it can be very, very serious. And unfortunately, the Boys and Girls Club is right next to it. So hell, somebody can just reach out to the Boys and Girls Club and say, y'all might want to test the air quality and the water over here. Make sure y'all good because this stupid ass school on me. All right, y'all. That's all I have for this one. Y'all tune in tomorrow. I'll make sure the timings are reasonable. And you know, if I have to make changes, I will drop the information in the comment. Hit the like button on the way out. And for those who want to tune in to our Candace video, we're not gonna do the experts, but we're gonna just go over her video she did today on X. So see y'all over there if you can. But until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.